Yo, what is good, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. And as promised, we're live today. And while I'm waiting on Mike to get situated, I'm gonna go ahead and start off by starting off the live stream and everything like that. So welcome in. Glad to have you guys here. Sound off in the comments. Smash the like button because that helps circulate this. But the plan for today is Mike is bringing his Galaxy A54 to the game, and we are going to just kind of like discuss. He'll discuss his thoughts and feelings about the Galaxy A54. Talk about some of the things that he's noticed off jump from just recently starting to use it, right? Because he recently unboxed it. So if you guys missed it, check out his channel, find the unboxing, and you guys will be able to check out what comes in the box with the Galaxy A54. The shout out goes to CV Tech for letting those in the Twitter group know about the deal. So like we knew about the Pixel 6a and the deal you have with Metro by T-Mobile. We didn't know about the Galaxy A54 because Metro really didn't advertise it. So yeah, you guys can check out Mike's unboxing on B Tech Reviews. Definitely go check out the channel. And while he's going to be discussing the Galaxy A54, I'm going to be discussing things about the Galaxy A53 to see if there's like a noticeable upgrade from the A53 to the A54. So that's the plan of what we're going to be talking about. And then also kind of, chill and talk about other things too as well for the live stream, just depending on like, how much, that he has to say about the Galaxy A54. So I'm very glad to have him come on here in a few minutes as a guest and just kind of get things going. Let me activate Instaham. I know I call it Instaham. It's weird. I know. But let's see if I forgot I powered off the Pixel 5. I use a Pixel 5 on another stand right here to do the to do that. And then I don't know, from time to time you might see just a little bit of a different like angle. So as we see right there, using another webcam. I have like two different webcams. So definitely wish I had another sticky tab. I can like sticky tab it somewhere over here. Anyways, this one's more like zoomed in. So I guess like if I wanted to like, kind of like show you guys something really close up hand, I can always switch the camera around. I'm also like testing that out using two cameras. So I think that'd be kind of cool. But anyways, yeah. It's the Galaxy A54. Only thing is I have to go back like into the settings and switch to the camera view. So I'll wait for him to give me the thumbs up. Go, no go. Ready? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the hour. Let's bring him on in. And let's do this.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Yeah, it's still kind of early. So, but like, what's up, man? How's it going?
Not much, actually. I just got out of work a little bit ago, and I was running some errands, and I was like, let me message this guy up because I know you said you had your, the school thing for your kid. So I was like, okay, I have a little more time, So I ran a few errands, and then I came home. I ate, had my lunch, and and now I'm here. I was just throwing my dogs outside right now because they all wanted to go. I guess use the restroom,
Oh, what'd you eat? What'd you eat for lunch?
I got Jack in the Box. Nothing healthy, unfortunately.
Jack
but
in the Crack.
I hadn't eaten any breakfast today. I just like went to work on an empty stomach and just maybe had a little bit of coffee and then, short shift.
Gotcha, man. Yeah, today's my day off, so I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, I'll have that video. I recorded a video of my son's award ceremony, and like I condensed it down to just focusing around like his moments. So I'll post that later on, just for shits and giggles. So yeah, man, I was like, I didn't know that Restream changed it because I know like when they started implementing where you can dual cast. So like I would start this live stream, send you a link, and then you would put it and it would stream on your channel. Now they made that a paid feature, and I was like,
oh, that kind of sucks.
I was like, damn it,
Okay.
because I wanted it to simul stream. So probably what I'll do is after the live stream's done and it's like fully processed on YouTube, I'll probably rip it and then condense it to a smaller file and send it to you.
All right, no worries, no rush on that. You know, again, I went ahead and posted. I'll go ahead and share the live stream link on Twitter either way. So,
Yep.
1 second, sorry, I'm like over here looking down here.
No worries. Like this morning, my wife was making fun of me because like I totally forgot I had the Moto 360 watch, like the original generation, and I pulled it out the drawer today. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, like I got the I got the Moto G stylus, so they're both linked together, so I'm using them. Wow. And then she's like, tech is supposed to be tech, not fashion. Like you don't have to match your phone with your watch because like I have the Pixel watch and a Pixel 7, and then I need to get a Galaxy Gear.
An older Apple Watch 3, I think that's the generation of it, and I'm not even matching bands. I have like half black on this side and then half kind of this, because when I ordered this band right here, the second portion of it was like too long, and I have skinny wrists, so like it was like overlapping over here.
Oh wow.
So like I was just like, well, I have the original wristband, that I can just put on like the smaller version of it, and I just decided to go with that. It's something more minimalistic, and I think it doesn't look too bad. I don't think anyone really notices the black, so it is what it is.
It kind of looks cool though. Like having it,
I mean, again, like I said, nobody's gonna be looking at it from like this side. It's always gonna be like that side. So I think I got it like on Amazon for like $5, probably something like that. Links in the description below, guys.
Yeah, those types of watch bands I like. I know I want to get something like that for the Pixel watch. Like, yeah, I remember when the Pixel watch dropped, a lot of people were talking about how hard it was to remove the band. It's actually not that hard at all. It's pretty simple if you just know which direction to pull the band, which is obviously the opposite direction from where the release button is. So that's crazy.
Don't worry, I'm still here. I'm just changing some things over here really quick.
No worries, man. I'm giving it time for some people to catch wind and then come in. I know I told them 10:30 a.m. and come at 11 a.m. my time. So
it's Friday. People are at work.
Yeah, some people at work. Some people like I hit live streams in the morning and like there's at least maybe like 6 people that come in. So I know Gene's probably at work.
Yeah, all right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get my dogs back in really quick. 1 second.
Go for it, bro. Anyways, yeah. So definitely wanted to get like another watch band. I mean, the stock one for the Pixel watch is like solid. I like it. It's comfortable, but I do want like different watch bands or everything like that. I wanted to see if I can find like a clasp that would fit this watch band, because this is one of those I really wish they would have like a switch camera button on here rather than having to go into settings and like switch the actual camera, because then it's like having to do so much. But yeah, you guys see the type of watch band it is. This cam sucks. But anyways, I want to put a metal band on the Pixel watch, but I have to get like a clasp that would actually work better with it. So that would be the plan eventually for the watch. But yeah.
Sorry, the virtual background it moves with me.
No, I mean it works out great. Like I have like a plain wall, so
yeah, I need to get a green screen. But I mean, I have like a green blanket that I bought with like a creator kit, but I don't have like any type of stands to mount it up. So I want to order like a one of those foldable green screens that you can kind of just stick under your bed or something when you're not using.
Yeah. That would actually be cool. Yes, yeah, I don't know. I always had this idea with green screens that if you have a green screen, you know how certain I think Restream can do it too, where you can actually choose a photo to be your background for your green screen, and the idea that I have is like the weather forecast news, where they use a green screen and they plaster the country and the weather, and the person just stands there and in Dallas Fort Worth, it's looking to be 96 degrees today, but they don't really see the map. They're just dotted where to point because the green screen fills in the map. So if you were to like do something like with tech, and if they had green screen where you can use a video background, you can actually use that and be able, yeah. He better not. He better not take the freaking title. Like he better not take the titles from Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. If he does, I'm done with WWE. Like, there's no point. There's no point. But we can get into that a little later.
Yeah, we can talk maybe towards the end of the stream. We can maybe talk about that, and if we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we'll give it like another, I don't know, 2 minutes, and then we'll just start going in. We got the A53 here, ready to talk about it.
Yeah, I got my A54 right here. Kind of reflective, but yeah, you guys know what's up.
So I seen your post. You're enjoying the Galaxy A54. So I'm gonna ask you the first thing that comes to mind of why you enjoy the A54.
The design of the phone, the feel of it in the hand feels very good to me. I was actually surprised that the fingerprint sensor that's on screen isn't crap. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm probably gonna make a video about that just to kind of show like what the responsiveness is on that. Fluidness of the phone also, I was kind of very surprised that it's a little snappier than I expected it to be, because it's not a Snapdragon processor. So definitely it's running Samsung's chipset over here, the Exynos. I believe you said it was the 13 something, right? The 1380 or something like that. Yeah, so I was definitely shocked at the performance. Now I did run a benchmark, which I might have to go back and check that out. But for the most part, I'm kind of satisfied with it right now. To be honest, I have not gone out and taken pictures or videos with it yet, though. That's something I plan to do maybe tomorrow or maybe later on this evening to go check that out. But I've only really touched the camera a couple times. So other than that, though, it's just being able to use the phone and it not being laggy and stuttery is always a good experience for me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you really quickly, which app do you use to benchmark?
I use Geekbench, but I know there's other ones like Cinebench and whatnot. I just use Geekbench though.
I'm gonna download it because I think one of the cool things that we can do on this live is you can run yours and I'll run mine, and we can show like the score differences between the A53 and A54.
Yeah, we'll do like a little countdown and see which one finishes first. Also, that'll be nice. Let me just kill all the apps, and we'll go from there. Maybe we can do some bandwidth testing also. Yeah, or data speed connections, because I usually don't have issues with T-Mobile in my area at all. Like you already know, I had T-Mobile for several years prior to transitioning over to Visible, and I never had issues with them. As far as like data goes, now I can't comment on drop calls and stuff like that because I never really talked on the phone. If I can be 100% honest. So when people and when I hear other YouTubers discussing like, hey, like, we want to discuss everything, like, your phone calls get dropped and everything. I'm like, I can't really talk about that because I don't really talk on the phone. You know what I mean? Unless I'm calling like a credit card company to pay a bill or something like that,
Yeah. It actually works out too because I have Google Fi in the A53 now, which runs on T-Mobile. So, yeah, we can do a speed test also as well.
Currently watching on the Pixel 7 Pro, by the way, also. So we are getting some. I don't remember which channel I'm watching on specifically. Let's see, but I'll go ahead and make a comment. Okay, it's the BTech reviews page. Okay, leave it like that for now.
All right, close out Google Chat. We'll do the benchmark in about 10 minutes. So.
Okay, that's fine. No worries. But yeah, I guess everyone's out to lunch or something right now. You were popping last night on your stream. Even my stream had like 8 or 9 people in it. I was like, wow, there's people actually chit-chatting in my stream.
Yeah, I think it's just because of the fact that I titled it Google Fi Visible, so those like those titles get people's attention, and like it was funny because I had to say it because I didn't actually put the title as a question, so it was more like, you tell me which one, if you can only choose one, what would be the one that you would just stick with, type of thing. And I just wanted to get people's responses, but then you have Michael Loeb that was talking about Elon Musk like he's pissed off about him. I'm just like, whoa. This is far off from what I was expecting, but okay.
A lot of
And
people
then,
hate Elon Musk, by the way, but I don't really want to comment on that.
I mean, you know what? Like I know my opinion about Elon Musk is not popular. Like I think the dude's all right. But I know there's I mean, people are attacking him nowadays because of a
Yeah,
political stance, and I look beyond the political bullshit because that's just a tool that's used to divide everybody. Like they're
yep.
preying upon everybody to hate each other. So
Hmm.
like me personally, like the stuff that he's doing with Starlink, the thing that he wants to do colonizing on Mars, like all those ambitious ideas and everything like that he has. I mean, that's what I support. I really can care less what his political views are. He's not involved in my life. He doesn't pay my bills, so I
Yep.
rarely give a shit. Practical Tech Reviews, yo, what's up, man? Welcome in.
Practical
Yeah,
tech in the house. What's up?
we're kind of slowly dragging it, just waiting for more people to catch wind that I'm live before we really kind of dive in. I got my A53 here. Mike's got his A54, and we're just gonna see what the subtle differences are really between them. I like my A53. That's why I can't upgrade. I really like it, but I'm thinking the A54 is not far away from the A53 as far as function, and this is one of those good things because yeah, you don't want to look like, hey, I'm totally missing something, but I'm sure there are some things the A54 has that is considered, like an upgrade from the A53. I just want to like see what they are live action. So that's the plan.
Oh,
And don't be a lurker. Say hi.
That's not me. I'm not a lurker.
No, I got that. So one of the guys that I work with at Boost Infinite, not gonna say his name because he wants to keep his stuff separate from work, but he has a Twitch channel and a YouTube channel, and he goes live, and that's like like how on Twitch they have those little moments. I guess like if someone is watching the Twitch stream but they don't comment, you can have like a little like 60-second vignette pop up and with a message of whatever you want to say. And so like he made one talking about lurkers, and he's all like, just screaming into the video about being a lurker. And then at the end, he's all like, here's a cookie. Now disappear into the darkness like your father did years ago. And I was like, dang.
That's pretty savage. I think I did see something like that actually. Yeah. I think I saw you make a repost on that.
Yeah. He asked me not to not to do that anymore. And out of respect, I'm not gonna do that because he really keeps work and his out of work life separate.
Yeah.
And but he made the mistake because because he's a trainer for the company, and when he was training the senior force, when he was training us, he made the mistake of saying that he was a Twitch streamer, and I was like, oh, okay. So like I know how to find people online, and so he started doing it at work, listening in. Hey, one of my mods on the Boost Infinite channel. Nice. Welcome in, Titus. Titus is cool. Titus follows on like different social platforms. I see him on there, so he's pretty cool. All right. Let's just kind of deep dive into it. Anyone else can catch the replay and watch it at this point. That's that. I'll probably cut a segment off and just completely make it a video on its own. So you found a deal through CV Tech. Shout out to him. Yep. Who's probably not even here watching, and I should probably send my shoe. Like I should grab a chancla and fetch that thing across all the way to the Carolinas where he's at and smack him in the head for not even being here. if he'll come on, like if he pops in here in the chat and says he's watching and wants in, I'll give him a link to join in. But it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I just want to hit him with a chancla. Like, I don't know. He's too focused on numbers and he's really sad on Twitter. And I'm just like, I want to shake him and be like, stop worrying about the fucking numbers and just make content. Like, just keep making content. Yeah. Whether you get 1 view or 10,000 views, just fucking make the content and keep going. Like, if you stop, and this is a word to advise anyone that wants to do YouTube, if you stop making content, you will fall really far down. And it's such a hard climb back up. It really is.
Yep.
To just make something. Shit, make a cooking video if you ain't got nothing to do. Just like, I'm gonna make cookies today. Pan, dough, cookie cutter, whatever it may be. But yeah, so you got the A54. Mm-hmm. Can you explain the deal?
Okay, so right now through Metro by T-Mobile, and I don't know if this is in store also because I never go. If I can be 100% honest with you guys, I have never gone into a Metro by T-Mobile store ever
No
once in my
way.
life. I think I did once, but it was probably because I worked like the retail store that I worked in had a Metro by T-Mobile, and I think I just like walked in just to talk to one of the workers one time, just to whatever to shoot the shit, and then I left, but I never went back in. But then after that, they closed that little Metro by T-Mobile and they turned it into a Boost Mobile, and then COVID happened,
Wow.
and then you already know, like all those little retail spaces, they ended up just closing because no one would go because everyone was working from home. But anyways, again, CV, shout out to CV Tech. He told me about the promotion, or he actually like went and posted this in like one of the group chats that we're in, and he was like, "Hey, I just got I just ordered the A54 for like 80 or 90 bucks." I was like, "What? That's like a 400, almost a $500 phone." So,
Yeah.
I was getting out of work at the time, so I was like, "I got to check this out." So, like, I drove home. I jumped on my my PC. I jumped on my home desktop, by the way, guys, which I'm on right now. I'm not, I still use desktop. Some people still use those nowadays.
I still use them. I have them right here.
Yeah, I have a laptop for gaming, and then I have this. But anyways, I got on, I checked the website. So to my surprise, this was not a deal that's like advertised on their main page. Like if you go to their website, they kind of like show some promo deals, but they're not really talking about that. So I went to their phone section and I looked for the device, and I was like, okay, A54, there it is. And I saw like a little thing that said $19.99 or $469. So I clicked the thing, or I clicked the link, opens the page, gives you details about the phone, right? Like anything else, right? So then I went ahead and just started the process. So right now, if you port in your number, it's $19.99 plus whatever plan you choose, but you can only port in store, by the way. You cannot do it online. I don't know why you can't do it online. Whoa, hello. And if you want, yeah, you can go ahead and show this. But yeah, that's basically like the advertised phone that they're giving away. I don't know if that's like with the A23 maybe, or
Yeah, that's the A14.
Oh, A14, which I believe I think same build as the phone. It has like almost the same like frame. But anyways, it's not something they advertise on the main page. So if you look at it again, there's nothing advertising it saying this phone is like less than $100. So again, you have to go to the phone section, look for it, and then you click on it. And for me, I'm not going to port my number because I've had my number forever and ever. Right now, it's currently on visible. Which I thought about it, but I was like, my iPhone, which is my daily, is my main number. I'm going to keep that one. Any other side phones, I'll port out, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to that, again, I clicked it, and with the new line, it comes out to $49.99 because you do have to pay for the new number. I don't know why they charge you for a number. Like no other carriers charge you for a number. That's kind of weird. But I guess it's just a new line in general, because when I did Boost did not charge me for a new line number, by the way. They just charge you for the phone and for the month of activation. That's it.
Yeah.
But Metro, I don't know why. I guess the new line, which is the new number, that's what they're charging, $49.99. And then when you click it, and I don't know if you want to go through the process on screen right now. Also, you click it, it gives you three options for plans. You have a $40 plan, a $50 plan, and then you have a $60 plan. So obviously each plan is different, right? Also the Pixel 6a right now is running the same promotion. So if anyone's interested in doing Team Pixel, by the way, you can get the Pixel 6a for $90, guys, with a new number.
There we go. A54.
Exactly. So look, there it is right there. A $469.99 value, guys, which I thought was crazy because that's up there with the Pixel 7a in price. It's a little bit cheaper. The phone is a few months older than that, but I can tell you right now that the low light picture quality on this device is great. I had Latrell sending me pictures last night because he was out and about in Kenosha, and he was taking pictures. And the low light shots on this phone are like great. I mean, it's hard for me to explain how good they look, but yes,
That is crazy, dude. Like, bring your own number and you get it for $19.99 right now. It's $469 off, but if you get a new number, at $49.99 for it. So I mean, Yeah, that's an insane deal for just a device that just dropped and is catching so much. It's catching so much fire from the tech community. I think guys like I think Tech Odyssey got an A54. You have one. Latrell has one. Trying to think who else has one. There's like a bunch of them that keep doing like videos on it. And Kevin Breeze, like they all got one. They're all doing like all this stuff on it. And I'm just like, it is like the A50 series from Samsung, really right there with the A series from Google Pixel,
Yep.
hands down. I have to say that.
Yeah, I mean the only thing I guess that's a little confusing for me, right, with the Samsung A series is that there is so many A series devices, right? You kind of have to know which one is kind of like correspondent to like a good mid range phone like the Pixel 6a, right? So I would put this in that category though, the A54 phone, or even the A53, which is the one you have, right? That
Yeah,
those phones would be like corresponding to what you would get in a Pixel 6a or Pixel 5a, etc. Or 7A, because
yeah.
the 7A is already out. So what am I even saying? The 7A is already out, guys.
Yeah, it is out. But like, yeah, there's a lot of A series devices from Samsung, and I think like Samsung's philosophy has flood the market. So they will have like, I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it, like they have the A0 series, right? So like the A01, A02, A03, and now the A04 coming, and like that's like budget Samsung. Then you got the A10, A11, A12, A13, A14. That's like slightly better budget. You have the A20 series. That's a little step up. The A30 series. I think there's an A40 also.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got the A50 series, and the A50 series is right there. A70 series is like phablet, and then you
Yeah.
got the S series, and it's like, what the, wow. I mean, I don't know. I know the M series replaced the J series, and it's like, how many letters of the alphabet is Samsung really going for? But then that's what made me realize Samsung is going to have a phone that fits your budget and your needs, no matter which end of the spectrum you're on, flagship to budget. There's something in between that's perfect for you. That's the way Samsung looks at it.
Yeah, although I can comment on the A23, which I got from Boost Mobile. That phone is trash. Do not waste your money on the A23 5G, which I think if you look on the website, I know you already stopped sharing. That phone is still like $300 on the website. I'm like, that is not a $300 phone. That is like a
No way.
$75 phone. Yes, yeah. There, I
Oh,
don't
I didn't
believe they're.
completely take it away. I just took it off
Yeah,
screen.
just
Hold on,
turned
let me
off.
go. I gotta see this.
Yeah.
Wait, let's go.
So
Samsung.
yeah, go back to Samsung and look for the A23. I don't believe that phone is on sale.
No, three
Even
twenty
the
nine ninety nine.
yeah. Yeah, well, with the promotion, it's $0. If you want to click it, go ahead and click it, right? But like, I believe even that phone, including the A53, were not on sale. And look what you're getting out of the box: 64 gigs of internal memory. Like, what is going on with that?
Like seriously, so like I know you got the A23, and I was gonna, and like this is the thing that boggles my mind, right? So like I mean, if you look at it, and like I'll stop sharing this real quick so I can put it on cam, but
yeah,
I'm actually gonna switch my cam so I can get more of a close up.
yeah. I have my A23 right here. Look, I can just it's on my desk. That's my my
Yeah,
A23.
your A23, and so I got my A53. So like, I mean, they're very close, close similar. I want to switch my camera, put it
Dust,
to
let
this
me let me
cam.
dust it off over here.
So like, very very similar. But the thing that I always wondered about when it came to the A53 and the A23, and my question to Samsung is that the fingerprint sensor is in the power button, right?
Yeah.
They didn't put it in display. Like that's like, I mean, come
That
on,
doesn't
for like
bother
a
me though. It really didn't bother me, and it was actually something that I was kind of hoping that they would have put in the A54, which I get the whole fingerprint scanner thing. It's kind of a gimmick at this point for me. Like, I don't really care for the functionality of it. I would
it's a
rather,
gimmick all the way around,
yeah,
really.
like this one is much more accurate. The one that's on the power button. I have no problems like turning this phone on or off with that power button. So to me, it's just like, I don't know why they're not just cutting costs and just using these fingerprint scanner power buttons on some of these higher mid-range devices. just to cut costs a little bit, because I mean the A54 with that would probably be another like $50 less, or maybe even $100 less if you think about it.
Yeah, definitely. I think like so like having like an actual biometric sensor. I'm not against that at all. It's just on the power button that's what annoys me. And like, I deal with it with like my G stylus all the time, right? Because like it's no problem to unlock my phone with my thumb when I have it in my right hand. But if I'm like, holding something with my right hand and I grab my phone with my left hand, like I gotta have to register this finger to try and tap it. Because if not, I mean, you're gonna have to reach over and always get your other thumb. That's the only reason I don't like it on the power button. But like if they put it, like, me personally, I like biometric sensors on the back of the phone just because your index finger rests naturally there, so it's just like tap, it's on. I don't know why they got rid of that.
I think it was more of a look thing, I think maybe for some people it made the phone look cheaper. Like for me, it didn't
like
bother
futuristic. Me. Like, oh look, I touched my screen. No, it's unlocked.
Right. Like I don't know if I can show that there for you guys. Kind of can't, or not really, but I can't even
your
find
green screen's gonna have to go.
Like it's not even unlocking. Okay, I give up. I can't do this.
Yeah,
it's so
I think the funniest thing about like my A53, and I think, oh god, Android little toy fell over. Like I collect these things, and like my son broke this one. He took the arm off by accident.
Not that one.
He felt so bad. I was just like, they're gonna break. But I think like one of my favorite things about Samsung, and like probably like other techies might just find this to be a bit weird, but it's not. I mean, it is kind of one UI to an extent, but not so much really like the software to that point. It's not the cameras. It's not any of that. I think the thing that I gravitate towards my A53 and why I like it so much, and basically why I like Samsung today, is the themes. Like the quirky Asian style, Asian inspired type themes that you can just put on your phone. Like I have a Mario theme, and it's funny because when I let me turn the audio on it, but when I like type a text, you get these weird sounds just because of applying the theme. So I'll send my wife a message real quick, but you guys will hear the keyboard. It's like so funny. And then when you erase, it's just like it throws like a little fart, and I'm like, what the hell? But it's Mario. It's like literally based the Mario theme completely. Nice. And then like what's weird is that you have to be in light mode in order to get like your text message thread themed as well. If you put it in dark mode, it'll be all black. But if you put it in light mode, then you'll get like the wallpaper backgrounds. That's customization right there.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I'm surprised they didn't, like with the dark mode, they just didn't change like that background to like the the second level.
Yeah, they could have did that, or they could have made it like the sky's dark, like at nighttime with the bullet bills flying by. Like they could have done that. I mean, but that's the developer, right? Like these are all things built on just like third-party developers that submit them to Samsung, and it's in the Samsung Galaxy Store. It's some cool stuff. That's really what I like about my Samsung Galaxy device, is the fact that I really can customize it and have fun with it. So it's not a boring thing. So this is probably one aspect of Samsung that I really wish that Google would implement. Like they have their Material U UI, and they're going to do all these things with Android 14 that's supposed to step up customization, but like really allow people to build themes for the Pixel launcher, I think would probably be something that people would really appreciate. But that's for another topic.
Yeah.
So A54, man. Is it the same thickness as my A53? Kind of looks like
it's a thick phone, I can tell you that much. Like it's thicker than the A23, I'll give you that much, but it's probably one of the thicker phones that I've ever had. As far as again, I can probably look at the actual specs on screen. I like how we're eyeballing it.
Well, it's for the viewers. They can see
guys
side by side.
What do you guys think? What do you all think?
Which one's thick? Which one's thick? Come on.
Which one is thicker? Is it the A53 or the A54?
I'm wearing a black shirt, so I'm kind of clouding it.
Yeah,
so
I cannot put it over here in the green or in the virtual background. I actually have to put it like in front of my face.
Damn, Roman Reigns' universal title.
I know, right? But you can kind of tell there. So I think they're probably. I think it's a tie, honestly.
Honestly, I think they're about the same thickness. Like to
Yeah.
be honest, when I was looking at the specifications, because like I think it's Phone Arena or GSM.
Yeah, I'm using GSM.
GSM Arena I think has it where it shows you the dimensions and you can put them side by side if you were like you want to compare devices.
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. I think that related devices more related. Okay, never mind. I don't know.
I'm gonna put the lurker sign back up.
Oh,
See,
who
there's
do
like
we got lurking in there?
I don't know, but there's 8 people watching right now. We doubled in like the last 15 minutes. So
At least smash the like button, guys.
yeah,
Preach that we all smash the like button over here.
yeah. Do not be a lurker.
Okay.
Join the conversation. Like I really don't want people to be shy. That's one thing I noticed. Like I know some people lurk because they sometimes feel like that the topic being discussed is something that they're not too familiar with, so they don't say anything. And I'm not that person that's ever going to flame somebody if they don't know a specific thing. Like just join in the conversation because that's how people learn anyways, is by conversating. So don't be afraid to chime in, say hello. Go give me a like, subscribe to B Tech Reviews, subscribe to his Instagram, subscribe to his Facebook, subscribe to it all. All right, let's get this guy going on different platforms because Roberto Blake said something on Twitter that I resonate with, and I feel that a lot of content creators need this message, and that's you cannot be loyal to YouTube only. If you really want this thing to be your thing, you've got to be reachable on every platform. So
very true. The only one that I kind of really don't touch as far as the tech space is TikTok, which maybe I should give that a whack, but right now I'm kind of staying away from TikTok for now, at least.
Yeah, I mean it's the only downside, and now I know for sure why people have like content creators have other people running their social media is because it's way too fucking hard to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Hive, Mastodon, and freaking MeWe and Minds and Parlor. I'm on a lot of friggin' social platforms and I forget to use some of them. And then when I go to them, it's like, oh, the last time you post was 3 months ago. Like, shit, yeah. I'm never gonna find anybody if I don't post like every day. But it's really hard to balance that many. So I only focus on the ones that is more usable by people, like Instagram and Facebook and stuff. Like a lot of people use those. So
very true.
Very rare will I go to other like platforms and go on there. I'll just put a post and everything like that because I do have people that started following me. Like even on Odyssey, I wouldn't recommend anybody to use Odyssey. It's really hard if you're a tech creator because Odyssey is more built on the premise of like freedom of speech, political point of view stuff, and it's like you're not gonna get seen there unless you choose a side on politics, and it's stupid. So, but I have my stuff. No, can't be independent there. But I do have it to where my live streams here on YouTube and my videos auto upload to Odyssey. So I don't even know how many followers I have. I don't check, but I know my videos are there. It's crazy.
Not bad, not bad.
So I think now is the good time as ever to run that benchmark.
Okay. Well, again, like I said, I already went in and wiped all the apps that I had running. I don't know if you want to do the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. So I'm gonna close everything out. I'm gonna launch it first just to check this. Yeah. Have to set permissions.
Of course.
So where the hell is it?
Are we gonna run a CPU or a GPU benchmark first?
Let's run CPU. So okay. I have mine set right here right now.
Yeah, mine's already semi-ready. Of course, it's in. I have dark mode on. Sorry, guys. I'm all about dark mode. I don't know how people can use light mode after going from dark mode to light mode or something because it hurts the heck out of my eyes, guys. So I just don't know how people do it. Like.
Pure talent, I guess. I don't know, but all right, I'm ready to run it when you are. Just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, let me know. I mean, if you want to do the countdown, go ahead, and I'll go ahead and press it. Also,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's going.
We got to be like that guy that's over at the racetracks and everything. And they're off to the races. And Lucky's running in lead. Lucky's running number 1. And we got Bandit in number 2. Bandit number 2 is catching up to Lucky number 1.
I accidentally smacked my microphone. This is gonna take a while though. I remember it taking some time on my on this device the first time I did it. So I don't know.
Yeah, you just set it down.
A couple minutes. I'll set it down though.
Yeah, we'll let it do its thing, and then we'll just keep checking when it's done. You let me know when it's done on yours, and I'll let you I'll let you know when it's done on mine. But
we should have like a ticker on top, like a countdown, like or a timer.
So I don't know. Someone can have a timer in the chat. We'll give someone in chat duties. Yo, it's Lawrence. I haven't seen Lawrence in a while, man.
What's going on?
And I know he said something on Twitter earlier. That resonates.
That guy in a while. He's been on my channel 808 Life or whatever.
Yeah, Chanel 808 Life. Chanel's his Chihuahua.
Chanel. Oh, I thought it was Channel. Chanel. Okay, sorry, Chanel. I have a little white Chihuahua just like that, also Chanel. So thanks. Check out my channel. My Chihuahua pops in on my live streams every now and then as well.
He's boycotting Samsung and their subpar customer service. I know exactly what you're talking about, Lawrence, because I saw your tweet this morning, and that is messed up on their. So he has an issue with I think one of his Fold devices. And it's supposed to be covered by warranty, but they're giving him some sort of BS runaround crap. And so not very good. I don't know.
So they basically just don't want to fix the phone.
Pretty much. Or like if they do it, they want money. They're like, I don't know. It's the same thing because like, people still ask me why I haven't got my Pixel 5 screen replaced. And like the last time that I checked, which was like, I think it was 2 months ago, they still wanted like $150 to fix the display. And I'm like, dude, this is a Pixel 5. This is like 2 years old already. Like, can they, charge less now? Maybe like, I don't know, $80 to replace the screen. Like I'm waiting until it gets to that point. Cause even the same thing with my Pixel 6a, rest in peace, that device, man. Like, dang, I had like so much videos I wanted to make on it. It was so good when I was using it for a couple of hours until that idiot almost hit me with a car and the phone dropped. And I was like, I'm like, no. I looked to see how much it was to replace the screen. It even just like, I mean, getting the parts is a little bit cheaper, but still, it's like it's a little bit cheaper. But then I would have to find the time to replace the screen on the Pixel 6a. So I was like, I'll just buy another one when it drops more in price. Not going to Metro because Metro, you have to have it active for freaking, I think it's what? Is it 120 days? I think it's 120 days you have to have it active, or 6 months. You have to have it active for 6 months, and then they'll SIM unlock it. And one of my friends that works at Metro by T-Mobile here told me that it's locked on both ends. So if you get like a physical SIM card, even the IMEI2, which is for eSIM, even that will get locked. So like I wouldn't be able to put Google Fi on the eSIM. And I'm like, that's stupid. Wow. But like, that's what he said. Someone that has Metro can tell me if that's true or not.
I won't be able to say because I probably won't have service for more than the 1 month that I have them on. So see how that goes.
You're gonna have to use one of those things because they do have those websites. Like, was it TK's Garage when he was more focused on tech? I think he has a website that unlocks locked devices. So instead of you selling your A54, if you want to keep it, you might want to look into getting it SIM unlocked that way. That way you can use it on whatever carrier you want.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that with the Motorola. Well, if you can pass the information to me later on, I will. I guess I was like, I could probably do that for the Moto G Stylus 5G and the A23, because those are just paperweights on my desk for now. So,
it's crazy because like I got the A53 unlocked from Boost. I just chatted in with them, but that's because they just recently migrated my old line from the Sprint system on over to Dish. So then I have to use Boost One app, but it still retains connection to T-Mobile network instead of AT&T. And I was like, I'm going to ask this guy to unlock my phone, see what happens. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to unlock my phone. They're like, are you planning to leave Boost Mobile? I'm like, no, I'm just giving the phone to my sister. And then they're like, we submitted a ticket. It'll take up to 24 hours. And like 4 hours later, I checked and it was like where it shows SIM status. And it used to say locked. And now it's like unlocked. I'm like, holy shit, Boost Mobile actually unlocked my phone. And I know for a fact this was not active on my account for a whole year. I bought this thing 4 or 5 months ago. I was like, screw it. So now I have that SIM card now in the Moto G Stylus. I'm waiting 30 days before I chat with them and say, hey, I'm giving my G Stylus to my brother. Can you SIM unlock it?
Whatever works.
Yeah, I mean, I'm keeping the line though. Like I moved it over to the 25 unlimited, and I'm just gonna pay that to keep because I had that number for 2.5 years. So I'm just like, I'll just keep it, and it's on T-Mobile, so why not?
All right, right now I am sitting at 69% on the.
Ooh, 6% higher than me. I'm at 63 right now.
Okay, there you go. Mine just jumped up to 72, so we're getting close to that end run over here already.
Nope, the Exynos 1280 is showing its weakness, still at 63%.
Wow. Okay, it's all right. Hey,
We'll see what happens. Like, can it move? Oh, we jumped to 66. We're making progress with the 1280.
well, check it out. Our dog did make a comment saying none of these companies really want to replace or fix phones. Well, other than Apple, right? But in this case, yeah, I kind of agree there that like most companies would rather just try to sell you another device than fixing your device. And I know Apple makes probably more money on repairing their devices than anything else, also because people would rather get their iPhone repaired. Because let's face it, like you're not going to go buy another $1,200 iPhone 13 or 14 Pro Max. You know what I mean?
Google needs to take notes. Like, Google has their own. So like you have like Apple Care. I think they have Apple Care Plus, and like Google has their type of care services or whatever. But the one thing that Apple has that Google doesn't have that they need to build more of. I don't care if they build new locations or they just rent in a mall like a big office space or whatever. But we need more physical Google stores. Oh, yours finished?
Yeah, mine finished. Yeah, we do need physical stores, even if they're like in like a little kiosk, like in Best Buy or something like that. So I'll wait for yours to finish, and then we can go over numbers. By the way, but mine already finished. By the way, so
we got a little bit ways to go. I'm only at 84%. So that there's a difference there between the 1380.
Obviously. Yep. Yeah, we already can tell that my phone, which is only a year newer than the one he has, already is finishing its benchmarks a lot quicker. So
we're at 93% now, 96, 100%, but it hasn't kicked up the results yet. There we go. All right, we got some results. Man,
mine was like a whole 20 seconds faster, man.
Actually, no, yours was a whole minute faster. I was like, when you put it up there, you gotta like factor in maybe another. What does yours say?
Can't see it. Okay, hold on. I feel like
I can show mine.
My webcam. So my single score processing score is 1,006.
Ooh.
Yours is only 400. I don't know what's going on with that.
No, it's 900.
954. I read it wrong. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. And then my multi-core score is 2776.
Dang, that's a okay. So I'll consider the Exynos 1380 a upgrade from the 1280. That's a significant difference.
Yeah.
You got 1006, and then you said 2770 what?
2776.
76, and my multi was 2025. So yeah, that's a noticeable jump.
A little bit. It's the multi-core score is not that much of a jump, but definitely I think if you were to try to use the phone next to each other, you would maybe be able to tell the difference a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say it's a 600 point score difference. Well, about 700 score point different. And then with the single core, that's like like a 60 point difference, almost right around, just guesstimating. Not trying to do math here. I'm not in school anymore. But yeah, that is. I mean, so I would say from the A53 to the A54, that right there alone is one of the better points to upgrade, is because you are getting a more efficient processing chip. Now I know there's people that don't like Exynos. Exynos is hit and miss with me. I never really had that bad of problems with Exynos chips. But I do notice when some of the people are talking about, like they tend to kind of lag out from time to time. You will see that happen.
Yeah. Well, so far so good. I think maybe my second experience with the Exynos chip. I don't really recall the other phone that I had. I don't remember. I think it was another Samsung device, but it wasn't anything recent that I had. I think it was one of the older A phones. Like it was like an A22 or something like that. I don't remember. I think it was the A22 or A32, something like that. It was one of the 30 series phones, I believe. But yeah, again, I didn't really experience that much bad experience with that either. This one, it's very smooth. Like, I don't know how else to explain that. I haven't really experienced a lot of stutteriness. Keep in mind though, I've only downloaded basic apps like Android, or not Android, basic apps on the Android, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. YouTube was already implemented on there. I downloaded a Signal Check Pro, Twitter, right? So it doesn't really have a lot of bloatware, minus the Google and Samsung apps as well. So, which, I mean, like, I think like most Android devices are going to just give you all of the Google apps, even if you don't want them. Like, even if you don't use them. Like, I don't use let's see, what don't I use here? Like, I don't use Meet. I don't use Google TV. I rarely use Google One, and I don't really use Google Wallet. So, like, those are 4 or 5 apps that I really. Samsung also, I'm never gonna touch those apps. Unfortunately, I'm just not a fan of their app stores or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just me though. I know some people might decide to use those apps, or they have their own like little app store also as well, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Do they still have an app store for Samsung? Yeah, you can download.
Galaxy Store.
And of course, they have apps that have like implement things like the Galaxy Watch, right? The wearable as well. So of course they're gonna have that. They even have Samsung Pay, I believe, still, which I don't know anyone that uses Samsung Pay. Does anyone use Samsung Pay? Like,
I think those that are diehard Samsung fans will use Samsung Pay. Like those that like got like the Galaxy S23 Ultra and stuff. Like
why not just use Google Wallet? Why not just use Google Wallet? Like, same thing.
The relationship between Samsung and Google is it's baffling at sometimes. I mean, like you have like Samsung Messages, which I like. I like Samsung Messages. I think it's pretty decent. Plus, too, I can customize it, but the sad case is that RCS doesn't bond well on Samsung Messages, and it, of course, it's going to bond well on Google Messages.
Yeah. And
Samsung's like, oh yeah, from now on, we're going to use Google Messages as our default messenger on phones. I'm like, why? You can't. If I put a theme on there and I wanted to go into my messages, which is not, it's not a big deal to other people, but it is to me. When I look at my phone, like I nerd out on it, so I'm just like, no, unless they're going to let us theme the hell out of it, but. I don't know. I got basic apps on here, and one cool thing that I absolutely loved about getting this phone SIM unlocked, and I don't know if this happens with every Samsung that's on Boost Mobile, or just the A53 series, but once I got it SIM unlocked and I put Google Fi in it, like every Boost app that was on there just gone. Like it's like the phone restarted, because like when you put the SIM card in, it's like, oh, you entered a new SIM card, restart your phone now. That's my notification tone. But then so I hit restart and then it rebooted, came back on, and then Boost apps were gone. I was like, yes. The only app I want for my service provider is Google Fi, because I have the family plan with my kids, which is a hell of a deal. So that's what I'm on. You want to do that speed test since you got Metro on there?
Okay, yes. Hold on 1 second. I was kind of gonna breeze through the Samsung Galaxy App Store just to see what they have on there, but let's see. Improve your ads experience. Let's go ahead and open up. Again, I have Ookla. I know you might be using another one.
No, I got Ookla on there too. We can use it.
But y'all, let's see.
Move that thing. I don't want to video test it. But
so let me know when you're ready, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna tap on screen when you're ready. Okay.
Go for it.
All right, we're ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. I mean, it doesn't. We don't care about like what happens at first. It's gonna be the end result. Let's see. My ping is taking a while.
T-Mobile has degraded here in my city like the last couple of days, but now it's actually doing better. It's hitting about 400.
Well, the reason why mine looks so low, okay, it is low actually. Wow, I'm getting actually some pretty bad speeds over here. So. There you go. There you go. It looks bad. There you go. Oh, there you go.
436 down, 62 up. But we can run another one because sometimes I don't really count the first one. First one sometimes it sticks.
In fact, you know what? You want to know why mine's so bad? Because it's connected to Wi-Fi. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, sorry, I forgot. I forgot that this thing was connected to Wi-Fi. Okay, guys. So
We can
whatever you
run
want
it
to do,
again.
you want to do again. Let's go again. This time, let me make
Well,
sure that it says Metro it says Metro PCS on the bottom. Okay, so let
it's
me know
funny. It
when
still
you're
says
ready.
Metro PCS. Go for it.
All right, let's go. Let's do it. And mine is set to the 1,000 meg limit, I think, on here. So there we go. Oh, there we go. Sheesh.
That's
Okay,
not
there we go.
bad. You see your needle going up there.
Wide over here. Sorry, guys. Again, you can't really see it on mine, but I'll give you guys the numbers. I can tell you it's in the 200s right now, though.
That's not bad.
Yours is actually doing a little bit better than mine.
Yeah, I got a tower that's been beefed up by T-Mobile because I had the T-Mobile home internet, so it supports my Wi-Fi router.
Okay, so my test finished already. I guess I'll go ahead and share my report here. My download was 238 and my upload was 20.
Mine's is on Google Five, which is just T-Mobile's network. I got 350 on the down, 60 on the up, and the ping was at 37. If you tap the three lines on the top right corner and go to results, you can see if you have packet loss. I had 0.3 packet loss, so there was some packet loss there.
Yeah, okay, well, let's see. Oh, I have a 0 packet loss.
Nice, good.
So it says my idle was 27. My ping was 1301. So I don't know how good or bad that is, the ping. But
This is the latency. So like the higher the number, the not so great latency. And that varies from like the uplink and downlink. We got this. Got this from Chrissy Scott. I am on Boost and currently using the Samsung Galaxy A12. I eventually went to upgrade. The A54 was promising because of the updates, but I don't like the Exynos chip. What would I suggest on Boost? So right now, because Boost, does allow bring your own device at this point. You don't like Exynos. Yeah, that's a get
an iPhone 14 Pro Max. That's what I think. That's
you got the Galaxy A12, so I'm not trying to shoot for flagships because obviously, if you get a Galaxy A12, then you're wanting to get a decent phone, without breaking your wallet. So,
I would maybe look at the Motorola Edge.
Yeah.
That would be a good one if you're looking to spend under like $300, but you want like a decent upgrade. I think right now the Moto Edge. Or I don't know if it's the Edge or the Edge Plus is like around
Edge Plus.
Yeah, I think it's around the $200-$300 mark actually. So
you
might want to check that out. And I've heard a lot of good things about that phone. Like I actually wanted to get that phone, but unfortunately.
Well, I'm holding out for the 2023 model to make it to Boost Mobile, just because it already came out. It came out in Europe. It's known as the Moto Edge 40. So here it'll be known as the Moto Edge Plus 2023. So the 2022 model, is about 300. If not that, I think it's the Moto G Power 2023. It's a pretty solid one. I would buy that one unlocked. I think that one's like also about 300 or a little bit less than 300. But I'd say Motorola.
Yeah, I would go with the Moto Edge. And again, if you're not afraid to port in your number and try out a different service like Metro by T-Mobile, right? I'm not trying to get you to switch carriers, right?
Yeah,
but again, Metro by T-Mobile is not paying me to say this, but again, you can switch over to Metro, get that A54, or again, you can even get a Pixel 6a. That is a great option. And again, try it out for a couple months. If you don't like it, port your number back to Boost Mobile. That's simple.
Yeah.
And you can probably get it on a cheaper plan.
See, that's one of the things I like about Google Fi, though, because like Google Fi gives you like a certain amount of time to port in a number, so you can actually like try out Google Fi for 7 days, and then if you actually like the service and it works great for you, then you can port in your number. So you don't have to like port in your number to try it, and then if you hate it, try to port back out, because porting is a nightmare, and that's what I do for a living. I know how bad porting is. I deal with the NPC a lot. It sucks. It literally sucks because you got a pissed off customer that can't port, and they're like, I want my phone number back, and they're screaming in one ear, and it's like, dude, you gave me the correct transfer pin. We're going through the port process. Your old carrier released the number, but now your number's stuck in limbo. So now we got to call the NPC to fix the fucking thing. And it's like, fingers crossed if they can. And then they get mad at me for it, like, you messed up my number. Like, how? It didn't even come to my company yet. Like, calm down. But yeah, you could do. I mean, those are great options. He's definitely made some great options there for you. So I mean, yeah, you never know. Especially like if you were on Boost Mobile and you had T-Mobile access, then you're not really losing any type of connectivity because Metro by T-Mobile is T-Mobile access. So you're just gonna get a hell of a deal on a really good phone.
Yep.
Galaxy A54 or Pixel 6a. Pixel 6a at Best Buy unlocked is $299.99. Yep.
It's not bad.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna wait until it goes down a little bit more because I bought one and I don't want to buy another one. But I do want one, but I don't want to fix the screen on mine because it costs as much as getting one. So it's like, I'll just wait a little bit longer. Same with the Pixel 7a. Like my wife is like, buy the Pixel 7a. I'm like, I'm gonna wait. Till people start trying to sell it because I know for a fact in my city when the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro drop, OfferUp is gonna start booming with Pixel 7a only used for 3 months and selling it for $200. Like, okay, yeah, I'll buy it.
Yeah, or wait till the holidays. They're gonna knock a couple $100 off during the holidays. That's for sure. They always do.
Oh yeah, no problem, Chrissy. Yeah, you know what? Like, I have the Moto G Stylus 2022 and solid. So I would say if this is pretty solid for me, then the Moto Edge Plus is going to be even more solid because that is technically Motorola's flagship device. So
that's so weird to say that. Like, well, I thought the Razr was their flagship, but I guess it's their flagship Fold.
Yeah. Oh man.
But like back then it was what, the Moto X or.
Dude, I don't even. Somebody over here that's more of a nerd than I am, tell me what the hell was Motorola's flagship back then? Because I know the X, I don't think it was. Or
the X was one. It was a step down. I forget what it was called. I had the device.
The Z.
Though.
The Moto Z series.
Yeah, where you could actually like attach stuff to the phone. I actually had that phone. I think I had it with Verizon. That phone had the worst battery of any Android that I've ever used. Like literally the phone would die within like 2 hours. So I ended up taking it back like the first couple weeks. Like I remember getting the phone. Usability wise, it was a good phone, right? At the time, like, it was snappy, whatever. But battery life was just so bad. I had to take it back to Verizon. I said, sorry. I know I took it back within that grace period. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can't. Like, this phone is just, the battery life on it blows. You know what I mean? So I ended up going back to like I think I ended up either going back to an iPhone or I think the LG G6 at the time, I think. RIP LG. Yeah.
That was probably one of the biggest problems with the Moto Z, with like all the different, they call it modules, but I just hey, they laid the foundation for MagSafe and all that.
It was an interesting concept at the time. I think it had that little photo attachment also where you can make the camera better and like a battery attachment as well, which I never got.
Should have gotten battery. That. There was a projection, like a projector. Yeah, the speaker. Yeah, that was because then they had the LG G5 that slightly. Couldn't call that modular because you would always have the phone powered off because you had to pull that bottom piece down with the battery attached to it and then switch for like better camera or something like that. It was like everyone was going module just because of Project Aura, which I'm still sad that Project Aura never came. But then I understand why. Like, no one's really going to want a modular phone in that sense where you replace pieces like you're connecting Legos together. So that phone would have probably only sold to only the geeks and nerds that follow Google, and everyday users would have been like, hell no, because they don't want to lose pieces and shit like that. They just want a phone that works. So, yeah, the Moto Z was their flagship, and then now it's the Edge series. So, yeah, she'll do fine with the Edge. The Edge is pretty nice. Motorola, I don't know, has really grown on me again. Like just using the G Stylus 2022. I'm disappointed in the 2023 model. It's superly lowly spec'd. Like it's
here's my 2022 G. Hold on, let's see if I can get that on camera with a poetic case or whatever. But I think it's like a brick. If I throw it at someone, they're probably gonna die.
I don't
Most,
have like one of those cases on it. Mine is just one of those $5 Amazon cheap plastic case, like a TPU gel case.
yeah. Well, Poetic sent me this case. They always send me cases, and they always send me like, I guess, rugged style cases, which I'm not too big of a fan of. But like this one, it's really not that bad, I guess. But they come with like those covers also. But I usually take the covers on the screen off. Hey, look, there you are. But not they're not bad cases. Like they're very shock proof, so they are going to protect your phone if you drop it.
Yeah, I definitely recommend cases. I mean, and good ones too. Cases like that, because the case that I had on the Pixel 6a, like the lip was like maybe like a quarter inch, and it didn't protect the screen at all. That screen just like totally fucked. I was like, damn it. And it's like funny too, because like when I charge it, it charges up and everything. I could power it on, but nothing goes on the screen. Like it's just it that rock or whatever it dropped on the pavement, like it punched through the glass itself and hit the digitizer or whatever. All that ink leaked. It's just like I was gonna do like a parody video, like let's destroy Pixel 6a. It's already fucked. Just like drop it off a building or something. But then I don't have the heart to do that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you get that fixed soon, or you can get a Pixel 6a from Best Buy, like Art Dog says, for $299 unlocked, or you can get it for $90 with a new number through Metro by T-Mobile.
No, not through Metro. I'm not going that route. Actually, you know what? I probably could, because like I don't really need to use the phone right away. I could probably get the phone. Like my son, he has Metro, because like I didn't completely close my Metro account. I just dropped majority of the lines, kept his on there because he uses a lot of data with his friends, so like he needs that. And then kept the T-Mobile home internet. So I'll just probably be like, hey, son, how would you like to use a Pixel 6a for 6 months and then go back to your Moto G stylus afterwards? Like, here, put this on your line and just use it. So I can get it unlocked.
That way you can get it unlocked. I'm pretty sure he wouldn't say no. I mean, hey.
No, actually, he's not. He's not really big on smartphones that way. So like, he would say no to it, because I was like, let's get you another iPhone, because I know he had the iPhone 10s for a while. I was letting him use it. Then I put him on the Moto G stylus, and I was like, oh, he probably won't like it because all his friends got iPhones. And I'm like, so for his birthday, I was like, hey, I can go get you another iPhone. He's like, I love my phone. And he pulled out the stylus and started fucking with it. And he's like, it's so great. My friends don't have this. I'm like, okay. So I got him a PS5 instead. I was like, okay, well, there you go.
I'm sure he's not complaining about that. A lot of kids would take a PS5 over an iPhone any day. So.
Yeah, no, he wasn't complaining at all. As a matter of fact, I think when you went to Walmart looking for a PS5, he got his, I think, the week before.
Oh, nice.
Because we were watching you when you were hunting for it. We're like, let's hope he finds it. Let's hope he gets it.
I didn't end up buying the PS5, by the way, guys. I have the Nintendo Switch OLED. I have the Xbox Series S, which is the one that just it's just you can download games. And I have a PS4 that is still working just fine, the way it sits. I don't, once I think they discontinue, I guess stuff on the PS4, then that's when I'll migrate to a PS5. But the reason why I haven't gotten a PS5 is the size of the actual console itself. It's so big, and I really don't want something like that sitting on my dresser, because I have a cat that jumps up and down on it all the time. And I do not want to lose a $500 investment on a cat that decides to knock over my stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, that's a hell of expensive. Like we had to get his controller replaced, because so like my son's really cool with my younger kids, because he's 17. So like when he's not home, because he goes to work, and he'll let the kids get on his PS5. We'll tell him, like, you guys can play Fortnite or whatever. And my youngest son dropped the controller and broke it. And like we got warranty on it to cover it. But then I forgot what he did, because I told him, like, he does his things on his own now. Like, I'm getting him into the habit of like doing shit on his own, because he's gonna be 18 this November. Time for him to start handling his own business. So he went there, and instead of having to turn in the whole console, because that's what they wanted at GameStop, they were like, they bought back his broken controller, and he paid the difference for a brand new one. And I think it was like, I didn't even know. This is how much of an old fart I am. I didn't know that game controllers are like damn near $60. I was thinking like it was gonna be like 20 at
Yeah,
most.
no, they're expensive, man. Honestly.
I was like, what the? Because he comes back, he's all like, yeah, I paid the difference. It was like 19 something. He paid the difference, but I was like, wait, that's like the full price of the controller. He's like, where you been? Like this thing is like almost like $100. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I think the PS5 one is like $70. I think from what I know, I think 60 or $70 for even like a wireless Xbox control, which to me they're not worth that much money, honestly. But I guess the newer they are, the more they can do, and the fact that they're all Bluetooth, you can not just hook them up to your systems, but you can do like your phones or a laptop or PC as well that has Bluetooth connectivity as well.
Yeah, it's like me. I have my Pixelbook Go. I have my freaking Stadia controller, and I pair it. Since before Stadia completely shut down, they put a software update for the controller to switch it from Wi-Fi dependent to Bluetooth. So like now, like I just have like a bunch of emulators on my laptop, and I just because I'll be honest with anybody. I mean, this is not proprietary information from Boost Infinite, but like the call volume is so low, because like I'm a senior level 4, so I deal with activations, port-ins, and like tier 2 troubleshooting. And in like an 8-hour shift, I maybe come out, if it's busy, I come out 4 calls out of the entire fucking day.
That's crazy.
If it's like Sundays is super slow, I end up with either no calls or just fucking one. Like this last Sunday, I had 1 call, and it wasn't even anything technical to do. The guy was just literally asking what the difference was between Boost Infinite and Boost Mobile. And I was like, I cleared that conversation in 10 minutes. And then that was like, I was early in the morning. So like the rest of the day, which my boss is cool about it. She knows. I watch movies on my freaking Pixelbook while I'm sitting here with the headpiece on and everything, just waiting for a fucking call.
It's so funny because you could just be like, "Hey, I don't really have to answer this. Just go to my YouTube channel and look up the difference. Like, look up Bite My Tech on YouTube, and he'll tell you exactly. He'll tell you exactly what the difference between Boost Mobile and Boost Infinite is. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, I mean, I would do it, but like, I don't advertise it to customers because the company's been really solid with me. Like, for like when one of the managers found out, they messaged me, and I thought I was in trouble. Because they were like, hey, we're going through some of your videos. We like your videos. It's just new territory. We never had an influencer working for the company. I'm like, you don't have people on YouTube that talk about Dish, like Dish packages or Sling TV or whatever, And they were like, they sent me like a PDF file that just had like some bullet points of like, things not to say that can get me in trouble with the company. And I was like, and it's not even a whole lot of stuff. Like I really have free range to talk about Boost Infinite, whether the good stuff or the bad stuff. Like they're not trying to control my, my dialogue on what I'm allowed to say. They just don't want me showing any like proprietary information or proprietary logos that would only come from this computer through the VPN. So it's like, I can't talk about that. Like right now, I can tell people that, the reason that I've said before that, come June, things is going to become a big ass boom for Boost Infinite, more than likely, is because, so the rumor is kind of leaking out. I'm not going to like say it's confirmed, but the idea that Boost Infinite is going to start selling service plans through Amazon's website is in fact something they're in talks of.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
That should make my day get busier because then I'll probably have maybe like 12 calls a day.
Or 1,200 calls a day, I'll imagine.
If I had 1,200 calls a day, if I really did, I could. Like the way that I work with call centers, I would rather be on back-to-back calls because it makes the day go by so fast. Because you're like, you end one call, boom, another one comes in, you're on that one. That could take 10 minutes to an hour to do. That before you know it, when you're like getting close to your lunchtime, that my little alarm pops up, lunch in 10 minutes. Like, oh shit, I'm almost there. And it just makes the day go by fast. When you have no calls, which some people are like, hey, I like it like this. This is chill. I get to chill. Yeah, for fucking 8 hours, you're going to really know those 8 hours. Like, you're really going to get to know those 8 hours because you ain't doing shit. Like, you have to find something to do, like watch a movie. And even then, there's only so many times you can watch shit on HBO Max or Netflix that you just recycle movies again. Like, hey, I watched Aladdin last week on Disney Plus, and I'm watching it again now. Like, it's dreadful.
Well, it sounds like a good something that's good though. You know what I mean? Like as long as it's good for your wallet, you know. At the end of
Yeah,
the
it
day.
paid pretty good. It does.
Yeah.
It does actually pay pretty good to start now. And then they have shift differentials too. So like if you work weekends, it's like $2 more an hour on your pay. And then
Nice.
yeah, there's like bonuses and stuff like that too. So it's I
That's
mean, for
good.
the price, I don't mind sitting here strapped to a desk waiting for a call for 8 hours, but it does drag on you all day and it's like
Do you
can't
ever
wait to
like go
return
outside and put your setup like outside, you know, like just to get some fresh air or something like
to
that?
I mean, if they gave us laptops like Carvana did, then I would.
Oh
Because
man.
Carvana gave us laptops. So, like, really, what we had was Chromebooks. And you would connect your Chromebook to a PC box, and that connected to both your monitors. So, like, it was easy to set that up outside. This is different. So, it has to stay stationary right here. But, no, I mean, like they're really chill with their breaks too. So like, I mean, you still get your two 15-minute breaks, but it's broken up into 4 breaks. So like two of them are your actual breaks and they're like 10 minutes. So if you want to use the additional 5 minutes to make it a 15-minute break, you can, or you can save that for any time of the day as a flex break and just do that whenever you feel like it. It was pretty chill. It really is chill.
Not bad, not bad.
I'd say. But yeah, yeah, stuff's gonna get busier for Boost Infinite. So, but they're pretty cool. I like the job. I do. Haven't had anyone actually like figure out if it was me they were talking to or not. I'm not gonna tell anybody what name I'm using. But yeah,
Just
you
give me the
never
one.
know.
Just give me the 1-800 number to call, and I'll give you a call, especially on Sunday. I'll be like, hey, what's going on? See if
Actually,
you recognize my voice.
if you call on the Sunday, if you don't have an account yet, you won't get me.
Ah, boo. Well, I can
Yeah.
reactivate one of my older accounts, so you know.
It's
I'm gonna
funny
be
though
like,
because I do get Boost mobile calls too. It's so funny because like the person will scream at me just because I have to let them know like you got Boost Infinite. They'll be like, "You're the same fucking thing." I'm like, "No, we're not. Your credit wasn't pulled to get aligned with us." So yeah, we're postpaid. You're prepaid. Your account says you're prepaid. I gotta get you to prepaid. Like, I'm not
wow.
going to be transferred. Like, you don't got a fucking choice. You don't. And like even then, when they want to escalate, there's no manager to talk to. So like, I'm like the last person you speak to if you escalate. And you can scream at me all day, and I will keep telling you to keep it professional. And then if you're like, once it gets to a point that it's like a stalemate, then literally I can just give you that generic spiel line, like, "Sir, madam, at this point we're just going around in circles and not getting anywhere. If you have no questions at this time, thank you very much for contacting Boost Infinite, and you have a wonderful day. Get off my line."
Yeah. It's like you
That's
got
it.
that memorized. It sounds like you've said that before already.
But yeah, but dude, like when I worked with Sprint Retention and I was moved up from a regular phone agent to, so like they call us special material experts. That's just a bullshit name to say, hey, I'm a supervisor, but I got admin work, so you take the phone calls. And that's all I did was take the phone calls. So like, and when they get to me, it never fails. They will yell, they will bitch, they would complain. I would tell them policy like, no, I can't credit you $500 because you didn't have data for 1 hour, or can't give you a $700 credit because you can't be on the phone and on the internet at the same time as Sprint. So then they want to talk to someone else higher, and like I know when they say that, that's where shit hits the fan really bad, just because
Yep.
there's nobody above me at that point, and I'm like, there's no one above me. Well, you have to have somebody above you. You have to have a boss. Like, yeah, it's corporate. You want to talk to them? You can email them. Give me the fucking email address. Sprintcares@sprint.com. Fuck you. Like they literally think I'm bullshitting them about the email address, and that was the email address to get complaints. So really, to Marcelo, fuck you, Marcelo. You made an email address that just made people more pissed off at me. And it's like, this shit ain't fake. This is real. That's a
That's
real email
hilarious.
address. They're like, fuck you and your dog, both of you. Like, how do you know I have a dog? But I dealt with that a lot, so I'm used to it. Like yelling at me on the phone doesn't phase me at all. And then I try to help like people that are first timers in call centers and tell them like, remember, they're on the phone. They can't touch you. They can't do
Exactly.
nothing to you. So don't get scared when they start yelling. You don't yell back at them, but You stand your ground. Just keep your same tone and just talk straight through it, no matter what.
Just keep the professionalism. I think that's all that you need to do, and that's it.
Yep, that is actually what you do say too when they start cussing. Like, sir, madam, I do understand you're very frustrated that your data's not working. However, I'd like to keep this professional so that way I can continue assisting you. You say it 3 times, and they still do it, hang up on them. Sprint was notorious for that because it'd be like 3 times, and then you could disconnect, and you have to put on their account that they're abusive, so that way the next agent that gets them and they call in, they get routed to a voice message system that tells them to go in store and get their problem solved. And I'm like, you're just totally fucking the store agents.
Like what are the and it's funny because like the people at the store are gonna probably be like, oh, you need to call this number.
They do.
I already fucking did.
Like, they do. They're so notorious for that. They'll be like, oh yeah, I could help you. Hold on. And they get their phone from their store and they dial into customer service, and then they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna put you on the phone to talk to whoever answers, just tell them what's going on. And it's like it's revolving. Oh my God. Call center fucking drama is like it's on its realest. But anyways, you know what? Like a lot of the A54 stuff, I do want to leave for your reviews to talk about and have people go over there. But it was kind of fun comparing the benchmarks and the speed test and everything. Oh my God, dude! Freaking Night of Champions.
That is tomorrow.
I told you this in the beginning, and I'm gonna say it again. If they put the unified tag team titles on Reigns and Solo, I am done watching WWE until Reigns loses the titles.
I actually think it's going to happen, and I hope it does happen because it's just going to give it. And hear me out, right? It's going to give Reigns more heat, right? And you want him to have that kind of heat, especially if he's going to end up dropping the Universal and WWE title at maybe the next major pay-per-view, which would be SummerSlam in Detroit, right? So I think it would be a good idea to kind of give Roman all the belts, like just to say he did it, right? Give him a mid-card title also while he's at it, you know what I mean?
And I see where you're going with that. The only problem that I have with that is because I need them to filter across and like actually decide who is the one. Because now you have way too many options. Like let's say like that he does take the tag titles from Zayn and Owens. So now you have Owens that could be a potential person that the fans back to take down Roman Reigns and take his Universal WWE title. You have Sami Zayn who can get another shot. Fans will be behind him. You have Jimmy Uso now that fans are behind. They're wanting to see him turn on Reigns. And there's still people in hopes that Jay is going to turn. And there's even some that feel like that Solo is going to turn. And it's like,
there's a little bit of indication. Like if you watched last week's episode of SmackDown, when Roman bumped into Solo, Solo didn't quite move out of the way for his tribal chief. If you paid attention, right? And then Reigns was kind of like, he was kind of just like a little bit irked about it. You know what I mean? So he stepped aside and he kind of just walked away. So he's like, I don't want none of this. You know what I mean? So I think everyone knows that Roman knows that, he is something is going to eventually happen, right? Whether it be Solo or Jimmy or Jay, I think the big one would be
break. I want to be a bloodline member.
Yeah, I think the big one would be Jay, but I think ultimately it'll be all 3 of them minus Paul Heyman. So you're not going to see Paul Heyman do it, but I think it'll eventually be all 3 of them at one point, at either at separate times or at the same time. So I'm thinking it's going to happen all at once, though.
I'm hoping that, in the grand scope of things, the Universal title needs to go bye-bye. And let's just keep the WWE title. But let's change the WWE title.
Yeah, I did hear that there was already a design for that unified championship once I think Roman drops the titles, I'm thinking. But we'll see how that goes, Personally, I don't hate the look of the network logo belts. I always kind of liked it, even though it's like it just depends on the person, right? I don't.
It's far better than the spinner title.
I mean, if you look at the spinner title now, that title was so iconic for what it was, and so many big names held that title. Like going back to CM Punk, The Rock, John Cena, Randy Orton, Triple H, I mean, just everyone that was within that era held that championship. And I was like, I actually had a replica belt of that. And I was like, this is a very nice looking title. Like, yes, the spinner part of it was kind of stupid, but like, if you just leave it like centered like in the middle, like how Miz was doing it, when he just kind of flipped the M,
Yeah, I love the way he did
M
that.
over. And then eventually they just made the belt to stop spinning. It looked good. Like that's a heavy belt, by the way. Like if anyone ever
when it's centered, it looks good.
Heavy.
When it spins, it doesn't. And like who really kind of just made me laugh about that spinner title, because it does not fit the bill when it comes to this superstar, and that's Edge. When Edge had his own rated R version made, it was like, why? I mean, I know he was mocking John Cena, but
he was mocking the hell out of him.
It was like,
But I thought it was funny because so many people love that title. Like, there's so many belt collectors out there that wanted that title, and they discontinued it for a while. And the value of that belt was actually shooting up like into the thousands of dollars just to have like a replica of it. And then finally WWE decided to start making it again, so you can get it now, which is hilarious. But a lot of people love that belt. And Edge, when he was just, doing his entrance theme or whatever, or, winning a match, he would just be out there spinning it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
It was just so funny. Edge is a character and a half, man. I will be sad when he like officially retires for good, just because like. We need Christian to come back just to do one last, 10-second pose, like for the benefit of flash photography.
I don't think that will happen as long as he's contracted by AEW, but you never know. Maybe once Edge, his contract is up with WWE, maybe he'll do a small stint in AEW for a little bit, maybe do that 10-second pose there. Who knows?
AEW is crap now, in my opinion. Like it's gone to shit. Like. For me, I feel like Tony Khan lost control. He's got to stop this thing. Like don't get me. I like MJF. I think MJF is great heel. Like he can get under people's skin with that whole, I'm from a wealthy family type thing. Even I know some people don't agree with me on this, and I know most wrestling fans will, but like when it came to promos, especially when he had his promo with CM Punk. He is really good on the mic. Like that, when they went back and forth, that was, I mean, I agree with Mark Henry. That was magic. And the fact that, the veteran wrestlers like Mark Henry and all of them that were backstage at AEW literally came out the curtains to watch this all go down. Like, I think this is one of those lightning in the bottle moments that will forever be imprinted in pro wrestling history. When you've seen MJF and CM Punk trade barbs in the ring, like even referencing freaking WWE superstars like CM Punk calling MJF a less famous Miz, like that was like holy shit. And then oh man, it was beautiful. But like they don't focus too much on him. Like I feel like that his title run was a wash. It's like he's got the belt. He's like your top guy heel. Like push him. Like why is the focus on Blackpool Combat Club and and the Elite? Why is the focus just solely on them? Like I would rather see, since Kenny Omega is now considered a face, even though he considers himself a heel, I would rather see Kenny Omega and MJF go at it. Or I'm waiting for them to actually just have like Darby Allin and MJF, or something that puts MJF in the center. They don't need to win the belt from him, but to put him in the center to build more momentum is what I feel like they need to do.
Well, Double or Nothing is this Sunday, actually, so it'll be the four pillars all against each other in a fatal four-way match. So we have Night of Champions tomorrow, which is not. It's technically not Night of Champions. It's Afternoon of Champions for at least the people living over here in the States, right? But then we have Double or Nothing Sunday night, which again, that main event will be a fatal four-way. MJF defending his title versus Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin, which a lot of people are. I don't think the hype for this match is there though. Unfortunately, like I don't.
No.
The way they set it up, it just wasn't the way I think a lot of people expected it to be. And for me, I really don't care for it for this match specifically. In fact, I really don't care for the pay-per-view card at all, if I can be 100% honest.
It's a watch, man.
Yeah, it's a throwaway show. Like even though technically Double or Nothing is supposed to be like one of their top shows of the year, and it's just not. They're gonna set up the next pay-per-view, which will be what All In, or one of the that Forbidden Door event, whatever you want to call it, I guess.
Yeah.
Of course, I think that's one thing that I do like about AEW though, is that they try to showcase other talents that are from around the world, right? And of course, with the new announcement of AEW Collision, which it's gonna be their Saturday show, right? Everyone says it's not. TK or whoever is in charge of the company, they're saying right now they're not saying whether it's going to be a brand split or not, but it's going to be a brand split, guys. Come on, like anyone can figure that out. Like, like anyone that followed the Kenny Omega and the CM Punk and the Elite bit that happened over the last 6 months or whatever already, they know that show is going to be catered to CM Punk and other wrestlers that are not getting along with some of the other wrestlers. For example, Thunder Rosa, right? She had heat with Britt Baker, right, backstage, and and Britt Baker created more heat with her and other female wrestlers that were talking smack about Thunder Rosa. Basically, if you guys watched that stupid AEW show that no one really watches, I haven't seen it, but I saw a clip of it where Britt Baker was basically talking shit about Thunder Rosa, and Thunder Rosa is my girl, all right. So no one talks smack about my how do you say?
Like if they go to San Antonio, you're gonna have to barricade with a chair.
You know what's funny about that? When I was in San Antonio for the Rumble, Thunder Rosa was actually in the Riverwalk, and I was close by, but unfortunately, we didn't get to see her. She was just like out there doing her vlog videos because she has a YouTube channel also.
Yeah.
And she does vlogs, and she was just out there talking to people and whatnot. And oddly enough, she actually does commentary with a guy that she does Spanish commentary right now. I know she's going to be doing in-ring return very soon, but she does Spanish commentary with a guy that is from where I live, and I actually got to interview him on my old wrestling podcast. Right, I helped interview him. His name's Alvaro, and I actually sold him an old sofa that used to belong to me when I used to live in an apartment. So I was like the connections are so tiny, you know what I mean? And he was actually down here this past weekend. You know what's funny about that? I don't know if I know you don't really pay attention to AEW that much. Sabu came out in AEW. There, yeah. So he was actually they had an event down here where I live where he was actually I don't remember if he was wrestling or not. I think he did wrestle, but he was doing like signings and stuff also, maybe like 30 minutes away from where I live. So I was like, and I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to the show. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to go. And then 3 nights later, he debuts on AEW fucking Dynamite. I'm like, oh, whatever the fuck. But I never really cared about not to hate on Sabu. I just never really cared about his wrestling character and just in general, So.
Yeah, I think like my thing was like it's hard for me to follow programming when the writers are doing a freaking piss poor job. Like that's just how I am about it. So it's like today I'm not watching so much AEW just because I feel like there are certain key wrestlers. Like I don't like wrestlers that jump ship getting the straight attention, right? Like I can understand it if they're a hot commodity. Like it's like it's a wrestler that you just can't bury if they come to your promotion because so much of the wrestling fan base is behind this person. Then you want to put them in the spotlight, position yourself for better ratings against your competitors. But when you're like how TNA used to do it, every new star that was not really new, they were just former WWE stars, would get put in a title run, right? When you had Drew Galloway come to Impact and he was pushed immediately because he was no longer with WWE. Jeff Hardy, who is one of my favorite wrestlers, but one of the wrestlers that if I ever met him in person, I would conversate with him, but then I would tell him like, yo, there's a gift I have from you regarding Victory Road. Like, what the fuck were you doing going out on drugs, dude? But when he came to TNA, he was heavily pushed. Over and over again, he comes back. Matt Hardy comes and they push him, and then they built this Immortal thing. And I felt when they split, Fortune from Immortal was the best decision ever because why would you align, the top guys like AJ, who was really building for the company, along with Jeff Jarrett and all them, put them with guys that are coming in from WWE that's going to get the spotlight, because like my daughter watches wrestling and she was like her favorite wrestler is AJ Styles, and then I had to let her know AJ had a small run in WCW. Matter of fact, he was on the closing night of the last night of WCW as Airman Styles. She was like, no way. And I pulled it up on YouTube and I'm like, there he is. He was there. You know, he came off the indie scene, went to WCW, went back into the indie scene, ended up in TNA and helped build, TNA. So it's like
one of their first champions, I believe, from what I remember. Also,
yeah.
So I mean, like, and hey, he's going to be one of the main events for tomorrow at Night of Champions. You know, a lot of people are and it was confirmed by Corey Graves. Just so you guys know that if he wins the championship, he will move to Raw. So just a heads up, he is a SmackDown talent, right? So that'll be interesting if he actually does end up winning. I think 99% of people want to say it's going to be Seth Rollins though that's going to win the match, but a little part of me wants AJ Styles to win. I don't know why.
I'm good with both of them. Like, I honestly feel like that this is going to set like what we're getting. And this is just my prediction on that, but I feel like that this is setting up for a feud between Seth and AJ, to prolong feud between them. One of them is going to win the belt. The other one is going to feel that it wasn't in the best way, and they're going to contest the legitimacy of the championship, and they're going to go again at SummerSlam. And I think,
and I mean, we'll see. I mean, definitely. I mean, I don't know if they'll allow the transition of that for if it, like, let's say Seth wins, right, and then they try to, push that to SummerSlam, right? Like, how's that going to work, right? Because I feel like a lot of people are going to complain, like, what's the point of the draft if you're going to have Seth Rollins continue to feud with a guy on another show? Like, that just makes no sense right now. Of course, if Rollins wins, right, it would make more sense to have guys like, Brock Lesnar, who's a free agent, by the way, who can go
free
from show
agent
to
Brock.
show, right? He can go from show to show and do whatever he wants. Omos, which we already saw him lose to Seth Rollins recently at the last event, right? Which was stupid. But you know what? But okay, go ahead.
But and the writers at WWE can do this if they want to, right? So yeah, it would be odd if Seth Rollins won the World Heavyweight Championship and then had a feud with AJ, who's on SmackDown. However, this could be the gateway door that if AJ wanted to pursue the World Heavyweight Championship, that it would be a flip for Cody to jump to SmackDown and for AJ to jump to Raw. So like Cody can pursue Roman. Yeah, so Cody pursues and finishes the story against Reigns after going through these obstacles trying to get back because of the WrestleMania loss.
I could see that happening, but I could also see Cody continuing the feud with Brock Lesnar and continuing to struggle, so to speak, right? Which everyone...
I love his feud with Brock. I don't know what anyone else thinks about that, but his feud with Brock is pretty fucking gnarly right now.
Personally, I don't care for it, but this, to me, it shows kind of like a dynamic of Brock. People hate on Brock Lesnar so much, right? I think it's funny how people
love his character,
and like I don't always love his character, right? Whether he's a face or a heel. Like last year, like if you guys paid attention when he was chasing Roman, he was one of the biggest faces of the company last year, right?
Yeah.
When he lost that WrestleMania last year, and then he was chasing him up until SummerSlam, where they had that that match where the tractor was in the ring, and unfortunately he lost that match, right? But going into that, right, he was so over, like it wasn't even funny how over he was, and then during that time, right, that's when the whole Sami Zayn started thing. But I love it because like he is a guy that will put over a talent, right, as long as it's like in a right situation, right, as long as the story makes sense, right. Guys like Stone Cold, it was kind of like the same thing for him back then, right? Like he was all about putting over talent, but the thing is, like, the story has to make sense. There has to be something that like goes with it, right? You can't just like make a match and expect something to happen, right? But like I love his dynamic because like he's a guy of very few words. He doesn't cut long promos. He does everything with his fist. And everybody knows how dominant Brock Lesnar is and what he can do in the ring. Like honestly, like he could be champion until he retires if he wanted to be. You know what I mean? People are going to hate on it, right? Because he's been in the spotlight for so long. But at the end of the day, if you're going to see Brock Lesnar in the main event, are you going to watch it? Like, is that the question, right? It doesn't matter who he's feuding with. He could be feuding with Gilbert, or he could be feuding with, Gilbert. He could be feuding with, like, I don't know, like, I mean, anybody. It doesn't matter who you put his name next to. Like, people are gonna watch whether the match is gonna be good or whether it's gonna be bad. Like I hate to say that, right?
Yeah.
You know, he just has that aura about him, and I think, you know, there's a reason why they called him the next big thing 20 years ago when he debuted. Back in like what 2002, I think that's when he debuted.
Yeah, around that time he came in.
So for me, I just love it, you know.
He's I'll tell people this because I met him once. When he was passing through. So I know he does a lot of, he does some interviews, and in his interviews he always tries to make it clear, that like he presents himself with this I'm not an approachable person. He actually is. There's a way to kind of do it about it because I witnessed it go down. So he was passing through a bunch of people around, right? If he's with his wife, leave him the fuck alone. Like, he's one of those guys. Like, if I'm eating dinner, don't fuck with me. I'm not gonna sign autographs. I'm not gonna take pictures with you. Like, I'll tell you to fuck off and probably beat your ass if you swing on me. But if you kind of make that eye contact with him and it's like a little wave, like thumbs up, thumbs down, you could do whatever gesture you want, and he'll give you back the response. And if the response is like a thumbs up, like, walk over to him, say hi. He's really nice. He's a really nice, talkative person. Just don't box him in and don't put unnecessary bullshit on top of him, and then you won't get a bad response from him. But if you're just like, huge fan, love what you do, you beat the streak, stuff like that, he's pretty cool about it. And he talks outside of wrestling. Like, he'll just talk to you as a person. He's pretty cool. My brother and I met him. So
talk to him about his meat, because he does like butchering or something like that.
Yes, he does. Those tomahawk steaks that he makes.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. But yeah, Brock being where he's at, like, I think the only reason that it kind of fits well with Cody Rhodes is just like, it's like the David and Goliath, but it's not like an overstretched bullshit story that WWE used to write, and it's not like an underwhelming one, because Cody has a lot of people behind him ever since his promo back in WWE before, his injury and everything, and how he told that story about how his dad was champion just for that smidge moment, but because of technicality, he didn't actually win the belt. And Goldust never won the big one. He's always been, IC champion, tag team champion, but he's never won the WWE championship at any point that I can think of. I never seen him with the title. So, Cody being in WWE and going for one of the major titles, and how he says, he has to finish the story. And even, fast forwarding to his Royal Rumble victory and running into WrestleMania, like, I was really behind Cody Rhodes. I'm just like, yes, like, let's finish the story. And then Roman pitching that your dad never talked about you. And it's like, yeah, that's right. Dusty basically had trained, Reigns, he has trained Rollins, he has trained. So, Kevin Owens, he has trained good wrestlers. And it's like, damn, that's sick. And we had it. We had that moment till Solo came back to the ring and someone spiked Cody, and it's like,
I know.
So now you have these roadblocks with Brock. It's like Brock. The way that I look at it, it's like WWE is using Brock to be like, Cody is gonna once and for all stamp his approval that he is to be on top. Like, you got to put somebody against the worst of the worst, and they got to outcome that to go on and hit glory. And that's why I think that if that was to happen, that would be AJ's way of going to Raw and Cody going, to SmackDown, because the World Heavyweight Championship, everyone knows its lineage goes back all the way into WCW. Yeah. The WWE Championship is the WWE Championship. That would be the one that I would say that, if Cody wanted to, finish the story and win it for the Rhodes name, that's the belt he needs to take. He's got to take it off Roman.
Yeah, and for me, like, the only other way I can see Cody transitioning to SmackDown is if he wins the Money in the Bank ladder match, which I can see that going two ways, right? I can see him being in the match and then Brock Lesnar somehow interfering again.
Oh my God, yeah.
putting himself in the match, beating on somebody, like he always does, taking their spot, winning the match, and then going and cashing in on. He wouldn't be able to do it on Roman, right? Because, again, their contract thing says that he cannot pursue that title anymore. It doesn't matter, the stipulation. but he can go for the new world heavyweight belt, right? and
Yeah,
just kind of make things harder for Cody, right? But or Cody wins, right? Cody wins, the MIB match, and then he cashes in at one point on Roman, but I don't think I don't know if it'll go that route, just because like a lot of those cash-ins where people end up winning are kind of like, matches where they just didn't know what was going to happen. Like they just suddenly cash in, like Seth Rollins at WrestleMania that one year, right? Where he just kind of
that was
cashed
one of my
in.
favorite cash-in ever.
So it would have to be, I don't think Cody wants to win that way, though. I don't think Cody wants to win and I hate to say that that's like a cheap way of winning, right? Because so many greats have won the title that way. Guys like Edge, guys like CM Punk, right? They have found ways of winning the world heavyweight title. Guys like Dolph Ziggler, guys like The Miz, right? Again, people that are synonymous with the world title, right? So to me, it's just like, well, I don't know if Cody's gonna, if he does win that, obviously he can go for one or the other title, right? He can choose which title he wants to go to. He can pull an Austin Theory and go for a mid-card title, which hopefully he will never fucking do. I hope he doesn't go for a mid-card title.
No, not at this point. No. There's an interesting theory that goes on out there, and I think it's kind of cool. It would be kind of sad to see it, but I think also like it would also be kind of hot if they play their cards right. Because I know, like, I read a lot of the dirt sheets, rumor bullshit stuff that goes up online, and there's one person wrote a pretty convincing story, but it was like, Roman would lose the belt at SummerSlam, but it would be because of the return of Randy Orton, and Randy Orton would dethrone him. But Randy Orton would hold the title, and then Cody would pursue Randy because Randy has the title, and it would be like, student versus mentor, because Randy mentored them in Legacy, but also, like it would leave the room for Randy not to be a heel and for Cody not to be a heel, but to have a title match. And that could be okay. But if Randy Orton comes back and he wins the title, I'm a fan of Randy Orton. I don't want to see him win the title only to lose it to Cody like a month or two after. Like I would want him to have a decent title run one last time.
Yeah, and the thing is, like at this point, with his, I don't know if it's his back at this point, right? Where he's having a lot of back issues. I think neck or back issues, one or the other, right? I've heard a lot of things going around that his doctors actually do not want him to come back to the ring, right?
Yeah.
For obvious reasons, right? But at the same time, like, he might not listen, and it really just depends on the WWE doctors and what they have to say on that as well, right? I would love to see Randy Orton come back and, have one last little stint, right? But at the same time, like, the guy doesn't have anything to prove, right? To me, like, we've been able to...
he's up there.
Yeah, he's up there. Yeah, I mean, he's top 10 most likely. I wouldn't consider him top 5 of all time. If you're gonna rank him as far as like world title reigns or whatever you want to call it, he's top 3 hands down easily, right? Yeah. Him, John Cena, Ric Flair, those are the guys that have held the titles like that many times. But I don't care to see him come back if it's gonna like alter his health in any way. If you're done, you're done. Like, and again, like it could be a situation where like kind of like a Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson, where he finally he took several years off, he got cleared to come back.
Yeah.
He did it. I wouldn't say he did it the right way, right? But he was able to come back to WWE. He had his stint with WWE for a little bit. He left. Now he's doing like he's doing the best wrestling I've ever seen him do in AEW, right? Even though he's not winning any matches in AEW, and that's pissing me off.
He's probably the one out of all that's former WWE, former indie scene, that's in AEW, that's getting a push with no victories.
Exactly. And it's making me so mad, like, because he's already had so many high profile matches, whether it be like 60-minute matches. He's had several 60-minute matches, I believe. Kenny Omega, Adam Page, you name it. Obviously, they're not going to put him with CM Punk, at least not for now, because of, their history. Everyone knows their history already, right? But, the guy can go with anybody. He's like an AJ Styles. You put him in the ring with anybody, they're going to have a great match no matter what. And to me, it's like, why? Like, to me, he's the best wrestler in the world right now. like, and he's losing all his matches. Like, I'm like, man,
so sad.
what is with Tony? What is Tony Khan doing? like he has the best wrestler in the world, and he's not using. I don't know. He's having lose. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But anyways, going back to the topic of Cody Rhodes, anyways, I think he's gonna. I don't know. I think he's gonna go. I think it's gonna go back and forth between him and Brock Lesnar until SummerSlam. Like I think he's gonna lose tomorrow night at Night of Champions. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
There's gonna be something. I think with that arm injury that he has right now, I think Lesnar's gonna. It's gonna be a short match. I can tell you right now, it's gonna be less than 10 minutes. Where he's gonna end up in that arm lock again, and he's gonna tap out. Like it's gonna happen. Like I don't know what this whole tough Cody thing is about. Like I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch tracks to a different subject in the wrestling thing, because this one actually really kind of pisses me off with WWE, and I know that some fans are not a fan of this said wrestler and just like how things have panned out. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I can see a light at the end of the tunnel, and I feel like that, in some form or fashion, like in dirt sheet chats on Reddit and stuff like that, some people have said some pretty convincing stories about it, but I'm focusing on Bray Wyatt. Because Bray Wyatt is one of my favorite wrestlers. Currently, I don't care what persona he comes in. If he comes in with these Hills Have Eyes hillbilly scene, or he comes in as the Fiend, or he comes in with this newfound, a Firefly Funhouse, or this newfound version of himself where he's been redeemed yet still is dark stained. Like, he has such an amazing mind to do these things. And I know he was pissed off at the fact that Vince just reared his ugly head back in with this whole deal, because we had the Wyatt 6, like we started to see. The match he had at Royal Rumble, was insane. Like the ending was, the match itself was just kind of like type of thing.
Yeah,
the pitch black match, but what happened afterwards, and like his creativity of how his dark self was staring at you in the face all the time, because when the black light kicked on, you saw his face painted with that glow paint in the form of like a mask, and I was like, that was a crazy cool concept. So you have Bray Wyatt, you have his brother Bo Dallas, aka Uncle Howdy. Now I don't give a fuck what anyone says, that is Uncle Howdy, straight up.
We all know it's him. Come on, it's obvious.
The earrings is a dead giveaway. The chin, when he has because Uncle Howdy, I don't know if like people know this, but there's two different masks. There's two different masks for Uncle Howdy. When he came to the ring and he put Bray and Sister Abigail, he had a different mask on that exposed the bottom part of his chin. When he's doing the vignettes, it's full covered. So you have this great story. You have Uncle Howdy stalking Alexa Bliss. I don't know if people noticed this from time to time, but when Liv Morgan had like promo cuts and things, you saw Uncle Howdy's logo in the background, which obviously, Liv Morgan's Bo Dallas is, we'll go by his stage name, Bo Dallas. That's his babe. That's his squeeze right there. What's up?
Destiny got cleared in under the yearbook, and I know Ma said I wasn't going to be in it, but I actually in the end of the yearbook.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. Put it up so your uncle can when she gets home. I know she wants to see that. Now we done it in a little while, so you guys keep it down. Okay, go. But anyways, yeah. So it's tough because you can see the potential. Some people on Reddit think that, with Vince McMahon and WWE, they purposely try to slow the momentum of Bray Wyatt because of his dark character and the stories and everything. They don't want him overshadowing everything The Undertaker has done. But to me, when I look at it, it's two different things. The Undertaker, Lord of Darkness, his brother Kane, Devil's favorite demon, and Paul Bearer, and the freaking fire at at their house, and all this stuff. Like the way the Undertaker presented himself is so much in a different way. It was more in the beginning like a zombie moving into like the Prince of Darkness, Lord of Darkness type thing, Ministry of Darkness afterwards. And then you got Bray Wyatt, who's like, these hills have eyes, the crazy hillbilly people, and then it goes into the Fiend, which was like a wonderful story because you had Mr. Rogers type host of a show, the Firefly Funhouse, who becomes a fiend that's like impervious to pain, yet somehow he was able to be defeated by a couple of wrestlers when he was almost indestructible. Then you got what he is right now. Like, I don't care so much for like the theme songs. I know some fans are hung up on the theme songs by Code Orange. I'm more focusing on like what he does as a character. And the fact that he's not even around anymore, and the fact that we may never even see him again, really pisses me off about WWE. It's like, how do you drop the ball on this guy?
Yeah, and a lot of people were actually getting frustrated with that lead up until at the Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? Like, I was kind of already over the the storytelling, so to speak, right? I just wanted to get him see him in the ring and wrestle again, right? Not that Bray Wyatt's like the best wrestler, right? He's probably the top storyteller in the company, but if you drag a story too long, people are gonna get bored. So in my opinion, like I don't know what's going on with him personally. I know the whole Vince returning thing at WrestleMania thing might have had a thing to do with it. I know prior, he was dealing with some health issues, which I believe that could still be going on. I'm not sure what's going on with his health issues at all. Looks like we got some report cards over here in the house.
Yeah.
What's going on? Show us those straight A's.
Closed door.
Show us those straight A's. But anyways, I mean, WWE, again, I feel like they just didn't know what to do with him. And at one point, I think I had read an article somewhere saying like that he really, even though he had say on what was happening, like that he still wasn't doing like full creative on his character, right? So that someone was writing the story, right? And that he was just trying to make the best of whatever he was given. So in this case, like, that they dragged the whole Uncle Howdy thing. I think people got over that really quick. As far as unmasking Uncle Howdy, who knows if that'll ever happen, right? The whole Alexa Bliss angle, which I was really hoping the Alexa Bliss angle would have happened a lot sooner. Neither of them have wrestled since the Royal Rumble, by the way. So Alexa Bliss, she lost to Bianca Belair. She's been gone since then. I know there was she had requested some time off. She has not come back since then, right? And a lot of people hate on Alexa Bliss, but I think she is one of the best characters that WWE has. She can talk. She's one of the best talkers on the mic. If you let her talk, she will go all out, right? Wrestling ability wise, I wouldn't say she's the best, obviously, but she can go. For the size, she's about what Selena Vega size. She's tiny, man. But I mean, she is a 5-time champion for a reason, right? And she is the first woman to hold both SmackDown and Raw championships, not consecutively, but you know what I'm talking about, like to hold them both. Yeah, to hold them both. So I was just like, well, shit, she, I don't know why, like, I know she's been dealing with injury over the last couple of years. Also, she was finally kind of getting back into her groove, getting back into the singles match, because they had her in tag teams, right? And I really didn't care for her to be in tag teams with like Nikki Cross and whoever else they teamed her with, right? I just really didn't care about that. I wanted to see that evil, malicious character that she was kind of, I wouldn't say manipulated by, but I would say maybe woken by the Fiend, right? Something that was always there in her, that something that was always a part of her that she just never realized. And then boom, once Bray Wyatt got involved, boom, like that just kind of opened her eyes and turned her into something completely different. I love that angle, right? I love that character.
The build up and everything was great on that. And then even afterwards, when she was in that character full mode, like my whole view of Alexa Bliss changed from what she was before to when when she became part of the Firefly Funhouse, and it was just like, she's fucking scary. She's fucking scary. Like the shit she did to Randy Orton. Oh my god.
And the thing about that is, just to add, right, you really haven't seen a lot of female characters like that in the company, especially in the last 20 years, right? Obviously, we've had a lot of great talents come by, but you really haven't seen a lot of like female characters that kind of try to go with that kind of like a supernatural gimmick sort of things. And for her, I think it just worked for her. Because she has all of the facial expressions. She can do them all, dude. Like she can do the happy, she can do the sad, she can do the the straight up like silent or like deadly face also. Like she could be an actress if she wanted to be. WWE is lucky to have her right now, but if she wanted to get into Hollywood, definitely, I'm pretty sure she could start acting and get involved in some type of movies or acting somehow.
I can see it. I can see that. Like I mean, yeah, she really fit the bill. So like when I started seeing Uncle Howdy appear, around Alexa, I was like, oh, that's great. They're gonna bring her back. She's probably one of the Wyatt Six. Then I started seeing, little subtle clues around Liv Morgan. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what's happening here? Like, you got, you got Alexa Bliss, and she joins back. That's great. I'm gonna be all for it. But then I guess like what, like Liv Morgan would be Uncle Howdy's like side person to always be around him type of thing. It's like, where's this going? Like, I feel like that WWE does not really know how to put this angle right. And I think honestly, if they would just give, Bray Wyatt the full creative control, like Vince has no fucking say in it. The new owner has no fucking say in it. Like, everyone shut the fuck up and let this guy do what he does. Because I mean, that was one of the things that he proved with his channel, It Begins Again. Like with the thing that I think he was really proving with that, with all those different vignettes that he uploaded on that channel, he was showing that he was really one of the masterminds behind the character of the Fiend and how he can make things seem really, really scary. And the fact that he worked, with his brother was one of them that was part of those vignettes. Killer Cross was part of it, who's known as Karrion Kross now. He was part of it because they even had a vignette of him and I think her name is Scarlett, his wife. Yeah, and I thought that was a really nice scene of what Bray did to kind of just show that they were part of his little clique, and then they started like focusing more on MCW because I guess that's where Bray was going to go and bring this idea and story to. But then he ended up re-signing back to WWE, and it was like God, let this guy go. Like, who? No one can touch the Undertaker's legacy. If that's really the reasoning behind it, they have no reason to be afraid. Even the Undertaker gave the fucking approval, like when he helped Bray get his hands on freaking LA Knight.
Yeah.
We still want to know what the fuck he told Bray in his ear before he stepped out the ring as the American Badass. But
he'll never say. They've already interviewed Bray Wyatt about that, and he said that's something between him and the dead man.
But it's like, to me, I honestly feel like that, all those crosses that he's had with The Undertaker and Kane, like, it was them passing the torch. Like, we need someone to continue this section of WWE, this supernatural dark realm, and you're fitting the bill. Like, keep going type thing. And I don't know.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, who knows? I mean, it sucks that now that Vince is back, he's always going to have some sort of creative control or say in the company, at least until he dies. That's from what I know that that's going to happen, right?
That's what CM Punk said. I agree with CM Punk on that shoot.
Yeah, and he wasn't wrong. I mean, that was 7 or 8. That was more than 7 years ago. That was like in what, 2011?
Yeah,
2011. That's already more than 10 years ago already. That was like 12 years ago already. But that's pretty crazy that he shot that, and it was basically the truth, and it still kind of holds up to this day. Obviously, I think Triple H is doing his best to do what he can to be the guy that's supposed to be in the creative spot, but at the end of the day, he's just a puppet. He's just gonna be, he's gonna do what he's gonna do, and then if Vince changes his mind on something, he's like, nope, I don't want that. FaceTime him or something. He doesn't have to be directly at the show for something to happen, right? You can just Skype somebody or FaceTime or do what he wants to do, and that's it. So I don't know. I mean, Vince. It is what it is, though.
Vince, that's the problem. The problem is Vince. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, outside character, Vince McMahon and everything like that, I really will always like appreciate and honor that man for what he's done for for the business and for the sport. Yeah. But you have to know when it's time to walk away. Like, you just have to know. Like, when CM Punk said that Vince doesn't know what it takes to make a superstar these days, besides it being a promo shoot of their in-ring contract signing, it holds a lot of water. Like, nothing against Vince McMahon. He's a genius. I mean, shit, he created controversy with the Montreal Screwjob. He's done so much. But today, the fans today are very different from the generation of you and me and the generation before us. That's why things changes. You have the older generations, like, that were into the heroes always being the champions, Bruno Sammartino. You go all the way down that track line, and it's like, it's Hulk Hogan or the Ultimate Warrior or Macho Man Randy Savage as a face. It's always a face. Very rare was the heel ever champion. They would only put the strap on the heel to set up for the next big face to come take the title. Now it's all about the heels hold the belt and ha ha ha, I'm freaking Dr. Evil and Mini-Me and everything type situation. And then you have that one hero that comes along, takes the belt, runs for maybe like 7 months, loses to another villain. It's in that generation now, and it's even going further where it's like different dynamics come in. Like they try to make it where you can't really guesstimate the outcome of a match anymore. This generation is very different. Vince is not in touch with that, like Triple H is. Like Triple H knows what's going on. Well, Paul Levesque knows what's going on today. He knows exactly what it is to make a star. He's about the business. Stephanie was about the business, despite her in-ring character, her outer ring character, her as a person, she's amazing. Like Stephanie is amazing on what she'll let talent do. And it's just sad. She's no longer with the business. She's gone. Shane came back for a brief stint and fucked himself up. So now he's gone again for a while. But man, it's just the wasted potential on things. And the fact that they lost certain people, right? Those that were with big names in NXT just jumped ship because Vince just has this weird control and this weird fetish with what he thinks should be the front of the company, and it's not that. Like Vince doesn't have it no more. You gotta ride off into the sunset, Vince. You gotta know you don't have it. Put your trust in your family and move the fuck out the way. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, he's already in his 80s now, so it's like, come on, bro, just like retire already. I just do it. Like he tried, and they couldn't keep him away. And we knew we knew there was going to be an attempt of sell the company, and what happens with that. And I always figured it would be Fox or like Disney that was going to buy the company, right? To me, it would make more sense if like NBC Universal bought it because they've been on NBC for so long. On the USA Network, right? But money talks, right? So at the end of the day, I think he does need to leave, right? I think the company creatively was doing much better without him. The storylines just made more sense. The morale backstage was a lot better as well. So
and we got Bray back.
Yeah, Bray came back. Like Vince left, and then Bray came back, and we were getting some good storytelling. We were getting some good matches, and there was people that maybe weren't getting pushed at the time when Vince was there that got rehired and started getting pushes. You know what I mean? Which obviously, where there's some of those people are not being aired at all now. if you pay attention.
They're not. It's like it's done a complete 180 back to the bullshit before, and that's what pisses me off because like you got two different brands. Of course, those brands have rosters on it. You could utilize Bray Wyatt in there and his storytelling, and I mean, I don't have anything against LA Knight. I honestly think that LA Knight would make a name for himself down the road with a little bit more experience, a little bit more time, and feuding with the right people can put him in a great position to be a great heel or even a great face. But to put him off jump to be someone that Bray targets didn't make sense from the jump. It just didn't. For a return at Royal Rumble, I was like, why? Bray wasn't gone that long enough to have ring rust. Like, he's good to go. Honestly, personally, like, with the way that Bray came back in, and everyone knew he was going to he would have to be a face from jump because fans were so behind him, especially when he made his return. And so I would have not Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns is like trying to get his 1,000 days as champion, but
he's already 1,000 days already.
He's
already at 1,000 days.
They could have had him go after somebody that was a heel, just for the pop reaction of the return, and then do a 180 flip and bring him back to that dark heel position, where like he's just gonna do things because he can and hurt the people that he feels like deserve the pain. That type of thing, because I mean they already did it. Like the last major promo for Bray was him sitting in the rocking chair, and Uncle Howdy comes up and touches him on the shoulder, and then glares into the camera. Boom, that's it. After that, it was like between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar, whoever wins, run. And it's like, okay, why them two?
Yeah,
like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
like go after the Miz.
or just go after somebody else. I kind of feel bad though, because Bobby Lashley ended up not having a match at WrestleMania, and I think Lashley was actually very very over, going into WrestleMania season, right?
Yeah.
Coming off that big win against Brock Lesnar, and they had been feuding back and forth also for a little bit, right? But even then, it's like, they had a little bit of a headbutting during the Rumble as well, right? If you watch the Rumble, they kind of go after each other, and then they kind of end that already. But at the end of the day, like, again, they end up having that rematch. What was that? Elimination Chamber, right? I believe. And then again,
I think so.
and then again, I think Lashley won, obviously, and then of course that was supposed to lead up to the match with Bray Wyatt, which never happened, obviously. So I'm just like, man, that would like, even though it may not have made sense, especially because WrestleMania, after EC, WrestleMania was like literally a month away, so the build would have been small, but I still would have liked to see Lashley versus Bray Wyatt, and even if they,
it would have been interesting.
It would have been interesting, and because Bobby Lashley's character is kind of one-dimensional. I hate to say it, but he's kind of just a one-dimensional guy. So seeing a character like Bray Wyatt kind of get into his head and kind of mess with him a little bit mentally, I think that would have definitely changed it, and it would have been super interesting to see Bobby Lashley like cross over. Like, let's say, for instance, like, the whole Wyatt Six ended up becoming a thing. Watch Bobby Lashley actually like be a part of that. That would have been awesome to see. You know what I mean? I would have loved that.
That would have been cool, because it would have brought a whole different level. It would have opened a new door for Bobby Lashley to bring some more creativity in and to totally change how people see him in the light.
Yeah,
that's like probably one of the quintessential things about pro wrestling and about the WWE is that you could take somebody that is considered one-dimensional, looks a certain way, and no one would ever see him in a different light, and use that as a way to pop the crowd when you put him in a different limelight. And it's like, holy shit, this is Bobby Lashley? Like, no one really thought that, what's his name, King Mabel, aka Viscera, would even go that dark, gothic look when he was part of the Ministry of Darkness. They always thought of him as like that flamboyant, colorful style hip-hop guy. And then Ministry comes out and you see Viscera, and you're like, hey, that's Mabel. And you're like, why is he there? And then, then he fit. He totally fit the damn bill with that. It was a great run.
Yep. The contacts, and then I think he like dyed his hair blonde at one point with like a mohawk.
Yeah.
I was like, I love this. You know what I mean? Like, imagine Bobby. I don't know if Bobby Lashley has hair, right? Because he's always been bald. But imagine if he like imagine if he grew out his hair, like, or grew out a beard, right? Because he's always been clean cut. I have never seen him with a beard or anything. So imagine like him getting a little bit rugged and maybe changing up his attire a little bit, maybe going the darker look, or maybe a more goth, punkish look, something like that. Something just to kind of get his character or get his dynamics going. Because again, like I said, I hate to say it, but he's a one-dimensional character. I'm a fan of him though. Like, I still enjoy watching his wrestling matches, and I think compared to where he was 5 years ago when he got back into the company, and they've definitely I think WWE has been utilizing him, but not utilizing him at 100%. Like, they have him at 50%. I think they should have kept the Hurt Business together. I think that could have been like Bloodline could have been SmackDown's, faction. Hurt Business could have been Raw's. And now we have the Judgment Day, which, is still pretty cool, right? I still like the Judgment Day, but, but I liked MVP. I liked, Bobby Lashley as kind of like the head guy, right? He was their Roman Reigns a little bit. And of course, Shelton Benjamin, who has the experience, and a guy like Cedric Alexander, who is relatively still new to the business, but he's been there for years already as well. So, I mean,
yeah, the Hurt Business would have been great to be on Raw, Bloodline on SmackDown. And, they could have not in the very same way that they did it with the Shield and the Wyatt family, but could have kind of created that same atmosphere between the Hurt Business and the Bloodline. Just don't do the stupid standoffs on each side of the ring like they did with the Wyatts and the Shield, and because that would be a total ripoff. But they could. There's so much they could utilize, and they don't. I'm gonna switch track one more time before I end the podcast. But
Sure.
I know this topic that you're very knowledgeable in.
Okay.
So the return
Let's
of
see.
CM Punk in AEW and the EVPs of AEW.
Yeah.
And I know you already mentioned it earlier that
Yeah, we
obviously
talked a
they're
little
gonna
bit
do.
about it briefly.
Yeah, you talked about Collision. It's going to be a brand split because they got to keep CM Punk and Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks them separated. Like that song, you got to keep them separated. But I mean, what's your take on it? Because some people feel like that CM Punk should just hang it up. Other people want to see him still wrestle. What's your thoughts?
So my thought on that is, I do think CM Punk still has a few good years in him left. Just kind of like the whole Edge scenario. Now, of course, keep in mind, he's only been back a couple of years. He's already been out like once or twice due to injury. Right after he won the title last year, he had to take time off. He had to drop the title. He came back and fought Moxley. Again, just to lose again, right? He was out for a little bit, right? Again, to recover from that foot injury or whatever. So, sadly, stuff like that happens, right? People get injured. I'm hoping that's not a recurring issue once he does come back. But I would like to see him kind of finish off on a high note, or in whatever note he wants to finish off in, just kind of like how Edge came back and. Of course, two different scenarios. Edge was kind of forced to retire. CM Punk wasn't really forced to retire. He kind of just left on his own accord and decided to do something else, which not a lot of people have the guts to do, right? To leave and then try something else. And maybe it didn't work out for CM Punk, but he's still kind of known for what he did in MMA, and he has a few acting stints under his belt and wrote some comic books and little things here and there, right? But anyways, as far as the separation of shows and Collision and the media scrum that happened months back, first of all, I think what happened was completely stupid, and I think it could have been avoided. I think TK should have just manned up and been the owner, and he should have just stuck his hand out at Punk and said, "Hey, let's talk about this, just not right now." You know what I mean? Because you can tell going into the interview that Punk was already heated up, that something had already happened, right? It already went down prior to the interview. So, everything that happened, any legal issues or whatever, up until now, up until recently, and if you guys follow, CM Punk has been trying to make some sort of amends, right? He's been trying to kind of just bury whatever happened in the past and move forward, and he does want to work with the Elite, right? I think Kenny Omega has been verbal about it in podcast. Renee Paquette, aka Renee Young, interviewed him about a month ago, I think, and he even said hey, I'm ready to move on also from this. I want there to be some sort of like reconciliation. I think it has mostly to do with the Young Bucks and whoever else was involved. I know CM Punk had one of his guys get involved also as well. But regardless, at the end of the day, I think there wants to be some sort of reconciliation. Now, at least for some parties. Now, at the end of the day, I think what's happening is, again, they're trying to figure out, okay, we're going to bring Punk back. Like, how is this going to happen? Because if one party doesn't want to work with him, then they're going to have to separate, right? So I don't necessarily think that Collision is a thing because of CM Punk, right? But I do not think that they should have to separate shows because of what happened. I think that's like the dumbest, stupidest shit I've ever heard. And like I said, TK needs to man up. And there's a lot of wrestlers that have hated other wrestlers, but yet they still showed up to the same building and they still worked with one another to some degree, right? You don't have to be best friends. You don't have to talk to each other. Again, creatively, be there for the company, do what you need to do, and get in and get out, do what you need to do. But I just think that them being separated is stupid. I've never been a fan of the Elite, or at least a portion of the Elite. I don't care for the Young Bucks at all. I don't know why TK decided to give these guys EVP, or whatever executive roles in the company when they really didn't have any. I hate to say it, they didn't really have a lot of star power coming into the company, right? Now, Chris Jericho, that's a guy that I would have maybe given an EVP role to, right? Let's see, Team Rapido CRA. Somebody saying hi. What's up, Team Rapido? I think that's one of my friends that's in the chat here. They're saying hi. So hello. Oh, we got random people also.
It's a crazy thing, right? Because like I mean, I remember when I first heard about what happened, right? And I guess by point of it was actually, I don't know if it was Nick or his brother,
Yeah.
but so like it was just like a lot of talk about the shit that was going on with Phil and what's that dude's name?
Colt Cabana.
Colt Cabana.
Yeah. Yeah, they spread a rumor. Or
yeah, they
supposedly, I don't know.
Rumor basically they were talking about something that they really had no involvement in.
Yeah.
And that heated up Phil. Apparently, according to story, they were in locker rooms. Door busts open, which I think that was probably mistake number one, right? Because the Young Bucks basically claimed that they were going to come and talk to CM Punk about why is he saying shit or why is this happening. But like, if you're coming to talk to somebody, if you're just only coming to talk, you're gonna like knock, let them open the door, and just be like, "Yo, can we get a word?" Or something, right? Kind of like that. But like when you come and bust in someone's locker room, what do you expect CM Punk to feel other than you guys are coming to fight? So yeah, he apparently he threw the first punch. He throws the first punch. I think it was him and Nick get into the scuffle. Punk's dog is in the locker room, and according to them, they say Kenny Omega was just trying to calm the dog down.
Yeah.
But then the other brother's name is Matt, right?
Yeah, there's Matt and Nick Jackson. Yeah,
that's right. Matt is the one that fights with Ace and gets bit or something like that.
Yeah, one of them gets bitten. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like, it was basically like the Young Bucks versus Ace and CM Punk in an actual real fight in the locker room, and supposedly Kenny Omega was just trying to calm.
Kind of like he was trying to break up the fight from what I know.
But it's like I agree with you. Like Tony, he owns the company. Like, put your fucking foot down. Like, I don't care what anyone tells me. You could be a big fan of the Young Bucks off the indie scene and everything like that, but let's throw out the wrestling star power and let's focus on them as professionals, right? It is not professional for anyone to bust into someone's locker room when you already know there's tension, right? Yeah. That's like, it really wasn't tension, but that was like when freaking Chris Jericho tried to beat the crap out of Brock Lesnar because he thought he fucked up Randy Orton when it was planned for Randy Orton to get cut by the elbow. Yeah. But like, Jericho's one of those people that he'll start some shit with you if he feels like that you stepped the line. But there's ways of handling things, and that's my point that I'm saying is like we wouldn't have CM Punk gone for very long. We wouldn't have people playing like, do I roll with the Young Bucks? Do I roll with CM Punk? You wouldn't have that. We would have had the better matches. We would have had MJF as AEW champion. We would have had CM Punk's return and maybe even feud with MJF now that MJF holds the belt. They've had their tension in the ring. Now they can actually take that to an even grander scale. But we lose all that because of stupidity. And it just seems like the AEW is filled, the locker room is filled with people who just cannot be mature about things. Like everyone's got beef, got tension. Everyone has to have some sort of drama backstage. Like MJF's bullshit about when he threw, that drink in that kid's face?
Yeah, I saw that.
He comes out with a fucking jar of pickle and then asks somebody, "Do you want a fucking pickle?" And the way he speaks, and I see Tony Khan just kind of look at his talent like, "What are you doing?" But then like we're looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing? Do something about it. Like cut the mic and be like, tone it down now." Type of thing.
Or fine them, if they're kind of going off the script a little bit, you know what I mean, then what they should be doing. Then I know Vince has fined people for going off the script and doing stupid shit on air, right? Things that they shouldn't be doing, right? It's like TK needs to kind of just man up and just put his foot down and say, hey, this is what's going to happen, and if you guys don't like it, well then don't be here, basically. You know what I mean? So yeah. I mean, for sure, I know there's still some sort of legal stuff going on with Punk coming back. So he has not been named for the return, or at least for that open show at Collision, even though it's going to be at the United Center in Chicago. So to me, it's like there's no way that they don't have this show and not have CM Punk there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like they have to have CM Punk there. It's Chicago. Like they would be stupid to air a Saturday show that most likely nobody's going to watch. I'm probably not going to watch it, right? But I will watch if CM Punk debuts on that first night, right?
I'll catch the replays on YouTube. That's how I watch AEWs. They're little small vignettes like Jericho and freaking Adams, a contract signing in the ring. Like, I'll watch those 5-minute clips. I won't watch the actual show because I don't know. They lost my attention on that. I mean, until they get shit right, and I don't really see them contending against WWE. Sorry to AEW fans that might get offended, but I don't see them putting a dent.
Yeah, no, they're not gonna. Here, let me take my headset off really quick because I got to go open my door. But they're really not gonna touch what WWE is doing anytime soon. At least not.
No, it's just one of those points where it's like you got to shape up the locker room. You gotta lay down the foundations. You gotta have better people managing your talent. Put what's his name in there, Mr. People Power.
Well, we all know that John Laurinaitis is not employed by WWE anymore after the whole scandal thing that happened recently, along with Vince. So, but now that now that Vince is back in power, you never know. He might have some sort of role that we don't know about secretly. So
bring
just like I've been hearing that Ace Steel guy has been hired back from to AEW for months already. He's already been rehired, but he's just not working at a capacity where he's at the arena. Is he's working remotely. You know what I mean? So I'm just well, who knows what's happening there.
It's ridiculous. But anyways, dude, I gotta cut this because I gotta get some stuff done. However, did you want to go on Scorpion Deathlock tomorrow and kind of do our spiel for Night of Champions before?
What do you want to do, a predictions before the show, or do you want to just cover the first hour like we did with WrestleMania?
No, we could do a predictions before the show. Okay, I want us to be able to full focus on the opening of it.
That's fine. Send me a DM later, and we can try to get that set up. Although I think it'll just be on Scorpion Deathlock podcast. I don't think like you said, you have to have pro membership on Restream to do a
no. We're only gonna do it on there. Anytime when it comes to the pay-per-views and stuff like that, I want to do it on that channel and just put that there. So for the 7 people who stayed after all the tech stuff and listened to all this, go to the Scorpion Deathlock podcast and subscribe and check us out tomorrow. We're gonna be doing a predictions and slight, re-storytelling up to the point, and then after that, we're off to watch Night of Champions after that. So you guys don't want to miss that.
Yeah, so if you guys are wrestling fans, hit us up tomorrow on the Scorpion Deathlock podcast. I'll link it on my Twitter account, and we'll go from there. And Tito will share on his socials.
Hell yeah. All right, man. I need to eat. I'm hungry.
All right, get some rest. We'll see. You all have a great day.
That's right. Y'all take it easy.